Sick.
Yeah.
Dope.
All right. Cool. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the episode of Chits Podcast. I don't know who I'm waving to. It's the podcast where we, chits and chat. I'm just truly Hero. Who are you fellows around me?
Hey, it's your boy Issa Kyle.
It's your guy Steamboat Taco. Sorry, this is okay. Go ahead.
And Knuckle Bomber. Or Marcus.
I just want to point out this is weird. So the audience doesn't know this. All two of our listeners don't know this, but we're doing the podcast today with our webcams, with our cameras on. Not that you can see this. This is purely for us, I guess. And it's weird. It's
for our eyes only.
It's a different vibe.
Yeah, because the three of us are in the same household.
Well, that too, but also like it's like one step closer to like recording in the same room.
Yeah,
but not really because everybody has a different background.
Right? Mine's just the kitchen and the upstairs.
Yeah, yeah. Oh my god, that reminds me of that stupid fucking that meme. No, it's that TikTok of that streamer who has a fridge in his bedroom. And people are like, "What's in the fridge? What's in the fridge?" And he's like, "You want the truth?" And he grabs the fridge, and it's just a cardboard cutout of a fridge. He's like, "There is no fridge."
You guys can see
Beautiful.
my 3 fucking closets that I have in my room for no goddamn fucking reason.
Hey,
And that TV that Alder
one.
gave me.
That's still in the box. Still in the box.
I don't see Cat anywhere there.
Yeah, I lucked out of my room. I was tired of listening to the chits and chats on YouTube and hearing her in the fucking background.
I don't think I've ever noticed her in the background, but she was probably there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I probably just drowned that shit out.
Just drown the cat.
I mean,
just drown the cat.
Give me the
audio.
word. I'll make sure there's no traces left behind.
Of cat audio. All right. So, as always with the podcast, we always start with everybody's week, the last 2 weeks. So, Marcus, you're above me. I'm gonna have
am
you
I
start.
above you on your screen? Yeah. And in real life.
And in real life.
Hey. Let's see. I have recently left my job. I was like, I'm not dealing with that anymore. Not dealing with that sinking ship. So I have been looking for other jobs and just kind of relaxing at home a little bit. Have been able to take care of like some other stuff like around like the house that I've been wanting to do, which is kind of nice.
Nice.
I bought a Stream Deck.
Yeah.
I think it's fantastic. I would recommend it even if you don't use it for like actual streaming. Like, yeah,
It's intended
great
purposes.
giant like macro pad with little pictures and stuff that you can just do whatever. I can hit a button, have all my podcasts set up. It's fantastic. I can control the lights in my room or Aldo's room, which is kind of fun.
Yeah, you know what? Fuck you. I'm gonna do the same shit.
Like-
And I'm just gonna take over your fucking lights.
Like that.
Which,
Oh jeez.
It was so.
okay,
Go
granted,
ahead.
it doesn't affect you as much as it does me, cause like you don't have your whole fucking lights smart lighted, and I do.
Yeah, I got to control like all of your room, just a push of a button.
Yeah.
Which is a little unfortunate for you, but like it was kind of funny when it happened. I didn't hear a scream, but yeah.
Oh, because I'm a
'cause
professional.
you're a
baby.
professional. So
inside
inside
screen.
you, like in his
don't show my
head,
pain
he
on
was
the
just doing
outside. I showed
the
on the
fucking
inside.
red panda thing. He was like,
I was like, oh man, red pandas are great.
let's see. I've also started messing with like OBS to try to test out some recording, and have will probably start working on making like a little VTuber guy for like when I do start streaming. So just been dealing with like OBS issues, which I believe I got them all figured out last night. Stupid setting on my computer. Just one stupid checkbox was giving me all the issues. So frustrating. Yeah, that's pretty much been my week. It's just been moving around my setup and getting everything set up like how I want it to, so I feel a little bit more comfortable. But yeah, that's it for me.
Right on. All right. Aldo?
You like that recording mood lighting? I mean, the audience can't see
Yeah, I
it,
do,
but, like,
actually.
all the colors just
You,
shift.
you gotta get that. You gotta get that ASMR now,
know, right?
also.
No, I'm not. No, I'm never. I don't. I'm never gonna.
Orale.
I'm not gonna lower myself.
Just give him that orale.
I don't. Right. What a lady. What a lady. What have I been doing? Not playing any video games. Not watching any anime. Not watching any movies. What the fuck have I been doing?
setting up your VTuber.
Oh yeah. So I did set up my VTuber. I have that mostly completed at this point. I was watching some tutorials, and I think I'm gonna change the hair because lately I've been wearing my hair like a little bit of like a little samurai ponytail. So I kind of want to get that on my VTuber. I want to get that reflected on it. But other than that, yeah, not a whole lot. I've been watching WandaVision, which has been a bit of a struggle because I've been trying to get people to talk to about it, and not a lot of people that I talk to have been watching it, which is a little weird because everybody was super on board for Mandalorian. Less so for the fuck is it? Oh, less so for WandaVision. Which kind of bumps me out because like the first two episodes, I totally get why like people would have dropped off after the first two episodes because the first two episodes are just kind of like, bland, I guess. Yeah. But episodes 4 and 5 are where shit got really interesting, and so like episode 5 left off with a super big cliffhanger. That just kind of confirmed some theories, and it's kind of changing the rules of the Marvel Universe. So, like, the implications of this series are probably a lot bigger for the Marvel Universe, the cinematic universe, than people were expecting.
Is this Marvel's like first thing, like first series after all the MCU stuff?
No,
No,
there's
I mean,
all the Netflix stuff.
Okay, so it depends on how you want to define it as their first series. It's not their first series because they did have the Netflix stuff, which is technically Marvel, and it's technically in the MCU, except that it never really interacted with the MCU. And then there was Agents of Shield, which kind of went off and did its own thing and started like I think after Ultron, it spun off and did its own thing, and so people were just like, oh, it's non-canonical anymore. Then there was Agent Carter, which was like a 4-6 episode miniseries that was about Peggy Carter from the Captain America movies. So like it's not their first series, but it is the first one that is like pretty integrally tied to the MCU. And it's also like the first one to actually, well, no, because Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. did have like Nick Fury and Maria Hill cameos. But it is like the one to feature like kind of major stars, because it does have Wanda, and it does have Vision, obviously. And then I think it's been rumored that Doctor Strange is meant to show up at some point. But because it's Marvel, they've never really confirmed it. But the way the show's going, it's really feeling like it's setting up that specific thing. And I don't know if I talked to you guys about it off podcast, but this is supposed to be like the first part in a multiverse trilogy. So yeah. So WandaVision is part 1, which I guess is
And,
supposed to introduce the concept of a multiverse.
and then I'm assuming part 2 is Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of
No,
Madness.
actually,
It's the
Spider-Man.
finale? Oh, it's
Yeah.
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man is
Oh.
part 2. It's part 2
Okay.
because they've been casting a lot of the older Spider-Man and villains. And granted, they're not going to be portraying themselves exactly like they were in their original movies. They're going to be changed to look a little bit more in line with the Marvel MCU stuff.
Cinematic. Yeah.
But they're still playing like the same characters. So like Jamie Foxx is still playing Electro. Alfred Molina is still playing Doctor Octopus. Yeah. I think James DeHaan is also playing Green Goblin. And I don't know if they've confirmed.
Instead of fucking William Dafoe?
Actually, I think Willem Dafoe is also attached to it.
Oh, okay.
I'm not
Okay.
100% sure. I mean, he's technically dead. So if they brought back anybody, it would actually be James Franco.
Yeah.
So
No, James Franco died.
oh yeah, he also died in the
Yeah.
third one.
The third one,
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, the best. Oh, I can't even joke
Maybe
about it.
maybe it's maybe this is the introduction to Marvel cross shonen.
Yeah, I mean, granted,
And William Dafoe's gonna come back as Ryuk.
right?
Well, I'm
Okay,
what it probably be is that. Sorry, Aldo.
Oh, I was gonna say. Also, I mean, it actually wouldn't be out of the question because Doc Ock technically died in the second movie. So
Yeah.
So if he's casted, it doesn't really stop them from bringing anybody in. And they're also, I guess, they're also supposed to be tying in, and I don't know, that's kind of a big maybe. It's kind of up in the air, but I think they're also trying to tie in Tom Hardy's Venom and Jared Leto's Morbius. So I
Morbius.
don't know. A lot of that stuff is rumors.
Would they try to add like? Are they gonna try to add Spider-Verse?
No, this is all live action
No?
stuff.
Okay.
So it's going to be a pretty white cast, which is,
Unfortunate.
it's a little unfortunate, and I feel like it kind of spits a bit in the face of like of Spider-Verse, because like what was so cool about Spider-Verse was that it was so diverse, because you had like a girl,
Yeah.
you had a black kid, you had like an old Spider-Man, you had
Another girl.
you had Nicholas,
Yeah,
a little
well,
Japanese anime
we'll-
girl. So it was like
We're gonna have
a pig.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, I mean, no, go ahead.
We're gonna have the live action Spider-Man thing, but then we're gonna have ours like next year.
Yeah. So I don't know. So
Change
it's
to your part on.
I don't know. It's just it spits a bit in the face of it. I feel like, I mean, I know it's not doing it on purpose, but like, boy, this is another thing that Tom Holland Spider-Man has stolen from Miles Morales yet again. So like, I don't know. Anyway, so the second movie is supposed to be that, and then like you mentioned, Multiverse of Madness is supposed to be, or Madness of the Multiverse. I never remember what the title is. That's supposed to be the finale to this whole thing. Which a lot of people are speculating that the reason it's a trilogy is because that's also how they're gonna bring in mutants and aspects of the Fantastic Four. Because they've
Yeah.
because
Sorry, go ahead.
yeah. Well, the thing is, they've casted Kang the Conqueror, and Marvel doesn't always, for their movies, they never stay super accurate to the comics. They try to, depending on like the character, right? But Kang the Conqueror is Reed Richards' son from the future.
What?
Yeah. But it's not Franklin.
What?
It's like a different timeline dimension thing. so that's why people are like, oh, okay, so they're probably going to use aspects of that to like introduce them. So there's just like a lot of shit going on. I'm kind of excited because like, I don't know, after the second phase, a lot of the Marvel stuff felt kind of stale. Like it was just kind of par for the course, right? It was the kind of very standard Marvel superhero stuff. Obviously, you had some weird stuff like the Guardian stuff, Ragnarok, but for the most part, most of Marvel was pretty standard. So the fact that like Phase 4 is when they're gonna get fucking weird, like that excites me. They have a multiverse trilogy. They have the Ant-Man stuff, and the fucking name is like Quantumania. Welcome to Quantumania, brother.
I'm upset that they didn't go with Nando V Movie's idea of Ant-Man and the Wasp and the Ant-Man. and introduced one of the other people that have portrayed Ant-Man in the past, but he was like a really scummy Ant-Man who was just like, man, fuck this superhero shit, I'm gonna go get rich.
Yeah. At least they haven't done the Ant-Man. They used to hang out in people's shower and watch them shower.
Yeah, that was the Ant-Man I was referring to.
Oh, nice.
But
Yeah.
I mean, like, you could, like, that's from like a really long ass time ago in comics history. You could take
Yeah,
that
but
character and not have him be real fucking creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but people still fucking talk about Hank Pym slapping Janet.
Yeah.
These days.
Which,
Probably because that's the only thing that people remember about Hank Pym.
yeah. Which, granted, they haven't confirmed that he didn't do that in the MCU.
They did hint at it.
Allegedly.
I mean, at the very least, they
Allegedly slapped one.
they haven't made any like insinuation like in the comic book about Hank Pym's wife getting raped
All right.
Jesus.
on the fucking space station
Yeah.
or whatever.
The other really nice thing is that since we don't have Magneto in the universe yet, we haven't had to deal with the fact that Janet Van Dyne sleeps with Magneto. So that's another cool thing. Yeah, Jeff, comics are fucking weird.
Comics are so
weird.
fucking weird, dude.
Yeah.
I can't wait for Spider-Man 8 where we get the story where they adapt the storyline where Peter Parker kills Mary Jane with his radioactive spunk.
I really just want the one where Kraven buries Spider-Man alive, then is like a better Spider-Man for a bit, and then offs himself because he's reached his life's goal. And then Kraven's family does a fucking dark ritual to bring Kraven back by bleeding out Peter Parker, except it's not Peter Parker, it's a clone. Because the real Peter Parker is once again buried alive. And then Spider-Man uses his sticky hands to grab Kraven's wife's face and rip her face off. And then after she heals, Kraven takes his fucking family to a murder island where they have to murder each other in a fucking battle royale of 5 people.
Fucking comics.
Fucking comics.
Fucking comics. We just need to get that. We just need to get that. Like, just the whole fucking like Marvel thing is like fucking comics.
Fucking comics, yeah. So that's the story I'm waiting for. Or the one where the fucking lizard eats his own son. That was also pretty cool.
I want the Spider-Man villain that rewrites DNA, and Peter's like, "What the fuck are you doing? You could cure cancer with that." And he's just like, "I don't want to cure cancer. I want to turn people into dinosaurs."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "That's a really dumb reason, but I can stand by that. I can understand why somebody would be like, nah."
I'm a little sad we forgot him. The episode we were talking about villains. Villains we can side with. Anyways, now that I've taken up 20 minutes of the podcast talking about Marvel Comics. Yeah, I don't know. Cool. I don't know who's next.
What would Marvel build up for their next, like, Endgame or whatever?
Dude, I don't know. They haven't even released the first one. Nobody knows. Like the first part of Phase 4 is halfway over with WandaVision. Like we don't know what the fuck they're setting up. And granted,
what's the next?
It's rumored to be King the Conqueror, and then after that, I just want them to go full batshit and
we're making Battle World.
The villains for the next Thanos level threat is just going to be the DC Cinematic Universe.
Okay, so if you really want me to like speculate on that, there's a lot of evidence that assumes that the next big Thanos baddie is supposed to be Galactus. One, because they're introducing the Fantastic Four. Two, they're doing the Eternals movie, which is all about the cosmic side of gods and shit in the Marvel universe, of which that's kind of where Galactus belongs. So that could be it. Granted, there's also some speculation that could also just be Doom. But granted that we
that'd be
haven't
cool.
heard or seen anything set up to really. I mean, there is some stuff, right? Because they are introducing the Fantastic Four. They're doing magic now,
Yeah.
like real, like multiverse magic with Scarlet Witch and with Doctor Strange.
And Blade.
So there's a chance that it could be Doom, but I think the safest bet is actually Galactus, because I think Galactus would. Not that Doom isn't like a Thanos level villain, because he absolutely can be, but Doom hardly ever attacks like the Avengers. He's pretty focused on the Fantastic Four. So if you're gonna have like a giant threat that requires everybody to hop on board again, it's probably gonna be Galactus.
Hey Marvel, do me a solid, all right? How about scratch Galactus and Thanos? Just do Shumagorath. I need my tentacle boy.
Oh yeah, you know the 5 people that know who Shumagorath is. Not,
The only people who know who Shumagorath is are people that play MVC2, which are the same people that think Sentinel is a good fucking character.
Sentinels is just bootleg
Hey,
Batman, Superman.
They're both in.
Oh,
Ultimate.
no, I don't mean like Sentry. I mean
Oh.
the fucking dumb disposable robots that were just made for
Rocket Punch?
the animated cartoon
Oh yeah,
show.
yeah. My bad.
So Wolverine could cut people in half.
Yeah.
Hey, they made Days of Future Past.
Yeah. I don't know.
All right.
Mister, I heard there's gonna be Beta Ray Bill. It doesn't give me any fucking sources or information. You didn't fucking hear that from anybody, Jeff. You fucking made it up, and now you wish it was real. Why you gotta do this to my hopes?
Because I want you to be filled with hope.
No.
It says Gordon.
I want real hope, not false hope.
You can't just say shit like that about Beta Ray Bill. He has a ship called the Scuttlebutt. I need that. Anyways, Kyle, how's your week's been?
Nice segue. I've been doing all right. I have also been keeping up with WandaVision. So if you want to chat about it, I can chat about it. But
Hell
I'm
yeah.
I'm not terribly fond of it. Like, I feel that either they should have cut the season in half and made hour-long episodes, or probably just cut out the first 2 episodes. Because episode 5 is really cool, but goddamn had I wished it not been piled behind like almost 3 episodes of fucking nothing.
I feel like they didn't need episodes. At the bare minimum, they did not need both episodes 1 and 2.
Yeah.
They could have combined those into one episode.
Yeah. But man, episode 5, that ending, whoo boy.
Oh, dude, the fucking the audio captions also confirm he's exactly who you think it is.
Okay.
So like, because people were talking about how I think it's the captions and also the audio for people who are blind.
Yeah.
It confirms that it's him.
Okay.
Also, Kat Dennings confirms it. Like, that was a good fucking line. I was like, oh damn.
Yeah, I'm upset. I'm upset about that. What she said, because I can't talk about this without spoiling it. God damn it!
Yeah, I didn't
I
know.
liked the other one actor.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. I also like that. I also like that those two. God, I can't say it without spoiling.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'll just send you a fucking message about it because it's a funny joke that I think is stupid. But I don't want to spoil it because I was talking. I was talking to Marcus about it, and I think I got him too interested in watching the show. And I told him quite a bit actually. I actually did spoil quite a bit for him because I didn't think he was gonna be interested, and now he is. And I know Jeff is gonna watch it eventually, but he's letting the episodes pile up, which is probably better.
Yeah. I wish I had taken the approach that I had to The Boys with this, and just waiting for it to all. Because I can't. Like, I grew up reading fucking Naruto and Bleach 1 chapter a week. Man, fuck that. I ain't ever going back to that. That shit was so fucking torturous, where you just sit there and go, this chapter fucking sucked because nothing happened, and it's like you're not supposed to read it like that. Like, imagine reading a book, but you only read one chapter of the book a week. You'd be like, why the fuck isn't anything happening? Because I'm so glad we live in an era that we can binge shit, and that huge corporations are saying, hey, no, stop that. You're doing the free trial thing, and then... Oh, that was not the direction that I thought you were going to go with that WandaVision thing.
Yeah.
No, you can't just use a free trial to watch the one show that you want. No, fuck you.
I don't know. Here's my thing. I love weekly releases, mostly because it's easier for me to watch stuff when it's that, like, it doesn't feel as daunting, and also because I don't like to binge watch. So, like, especially like when I used to work in an office with people, and like Stranger Things came out, and like I heard about it. I heard about Stranger Things coming out because everybody in the fucking office had fucking binged it, because nobody wants to fucking spend time with their goddamn family, even though they're all like, hey, I'm 20, I'm fresh out of college, and back from my mission, time to get married and have 4 kids. Oh, now I don't want to spend time with them, so I'm going to lock myself in a room and watch 8 episodes of Stranger Things and ignore my fucking family, and now I can talk about it at work. It's like, alright, dude, some of us have other hobbies that are not ignoring our families, so...
I have no family, so the complaints don't. I don't empathize with them.
So that's the thing, right? And so then it's like, well, I don't want to watch it. Everybody's already talked about it, and also, a lot of it's just been spoiled for me already. So like, I don't give a shit. As opposed to like the weekly thing. I love the weekly release, but that's just me. I like letting stuff sink in and waiting for a week.
Like
Yeah.
It's why, like, I have a hard time talking about it because, like, I get it, and I don't want to invalidate anyone's opinion because I definitely see the benefits to both sides, but like I can't fucking Bleach and Naruto ruined me for having shitty quality stories that came out once a week. maybe if Musashi Kishimoto wasn't a hack and Tite Kubo had a better editor, we would be sitting in a different universe, Kyle, who likes watching weekly
I
shit.
mean, maybe both of them weren't hacks, or maybe both of them had better editors.
No. Musashi Kishimoto is definitely a hack writer, and Tite Kubo definitely had a bad editor.
I'll disagree with that.
You can... this is my conspiracy theory. Everyone gets one conspiracy theory that they're allowed to heart. This is mine. You don't get to take it away from me. It's completely harmless. It's not like I'm denying vaccines work, okay?
What about the Jewish space lasers, Kyle?
Oh, God.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
I know we don't get political here, but that bitch got voted out of her fucking position, and that just made my week so much better.
God, yeah, fuck her. Speaking of other stuff that I've watched, thanks to Steamboat, I was finally able to watch. I binge watched all 3 Rurouni Kenshin movies back to back in one sitting. Fuck! I wish somebody had really, really fucking told me that each of those movies was 2 hours long.
It doesn't matter, Kyle. They were fucking great, weren't they?
So the choreography, the sword choreography, fucking absolutely amazing. Storytelling, as far as the movies go, yeah, pretty solid. As somebody who went laboriously to Barnes & Noble every, like, quarter to read Rurouni Kenshin volume by volume, and has all of that fucking lore stuck in my head, as an adaptation, it could have been better. Like, there was a lot of weird stuff, especially with the first movie, because the plot of the first movie is that Kenshin has to deal with this guy that's spreading opium throughout Japan.
Yeah,
And
it's the whole Shizugumi stuff.
It's the whole Oni Waban stuff.
Yeah,
and they are not in that movie at all. There's no Aoshi, nobody. It's all of, like, it's a villain that lasted for like 1 episode, or like.
By the way, spoilers for a movie that came out a couple years back.
It's It's a villain that showed up very, very briefly and was dealt with in like a few chapters. And then they grabbed two villains in name only from Anishi's arc and just had them be there. But like, they were there in name only. None of their personality traits or anything. Like, I saw these two guys and I'm like, who the fuck are these assholes? And then I looked it up later and I'm like, oh wow, yeah, they... Whew. I'm also disappointed with like I understand why they had to do it, because these movies were already 2 hours long, and I can't fathom how these movies would have turned out if they had fleshed out all of Shishio's fucking 10 generals and their backstories. But like, I feel like they probably could have just cut some of those characters, especially since the author, after he concluded that arc, was like, you know what, I think I put too many fucking villains in this, because a lot of these guys didn't end up doing fucking anything. So, and like, a lot of, like, this is literally just, it's just the Kenshin Himura show. None of the other characters get really developed or fleshed out.
Well, his name's in the fucking title.
His name's half the title. But
it's the title and his name.
Yeah. But like, Sagara Sosuke just ends up being Punchy Laugh Man. He doesn't get any development at all whatsoever. They also made Saito Hajime really weird, which is unfortunate because I really liked Saito Hajime. But he does have like a really, he shows up. He has more screen time in the movies than compared to the show, which was kind of odd. But yeah,
they do the fight, right? The Kenshin and Saito fight.
No.
Oh.
They do like a watered down version of it in the first movie.
I don't remember that.
Yeah. But like all of the fight choreography, holy fucking shit, goddamn, is it so fucking good? Oh god, the resident weeb samurai guy who likes katana fights, Gucci.
High quality.
So
Yeah.
So like in
I
comparison
fucking
to
love
the
it.
other live action adaptations, how do you think it compares?
Oh, fucking no question. No question, this is the best one. Like, but like, I feel like that's such a low bar, though.
Speed Racer is a close second.
I haven't seen Speed Racer. I need to watch that, too.
I have
But, like,
that.
I
I
also-
want to borrow it, but also I'm of the
Yeah.
opinion that Speed Racer is the #1 anime adaptation.
Okay. I also, like, never watched any of the original Speed Racer, so, like,
You don't
I
need
couldn't
to.
judge it. I couldn't judge it
Remember
on its
that time
merits
Speed
as
Racer
an
pulled a gun?
adaptation.
Hey man,
No, I don't.
I also have all of the Speed Racer on Blu-ray. If you want to borrow that too,
I don't think I want to watch
you
it.
don't.
Yeah.
It's not a bad show. It is just very dated.
Yeah. I figured as much.
It's not dated. It's vintage.
If it was any more dated, you would just have Speed Racer like slapping his woman around and calling people racial slurs. It's just
Here comes Speed Racer.
yeah, it's just an old
He's
show.
the demon
Like
on wheels.
I mean, the racing.
It's gonna be just the episode.
The racing animation is pretty. I mean, it's really good for its time. But I mean, if you've been spoiled and you've watched like Initial D and like Red Line and shit, it just does not compare or hold up anymore.
You're just like, oh yeah, this was from the 50s.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I have a lot of memories of like watching Speed Racer as a kid, and I tried to go back to it. I mean, I bought the Blu-rays, and when I got those, I tried watching it. I was like, oof, this is rough. But at least for me, as a fan of Speed Racer, watching the show, the movie, it's not like a straight adaptation, but it does give you nostalgia because it's adapting the feeling of the show rather than the show directly, and I think that's a better adaptation than like trying to emulate the anime.
Yeah, that's the feeling that I got with the Rurouni Kenshin movies, is that they emulated the plot rather than the feeling of of Kenshin.
Yeah. So I would still recommend Speed Racer if you want to watch the Blu-ray. I got the Blu-ray. I should put it up on the stream box. Yeah. But yes.
You know what to do, Future Jeff.
Finger guns.
But yeah. So yeah.
Okay. And then the last thing that I watched during the span of time is I watched the 3 episodes of Redo of a Healer.
Well.
That show is fucking hot trash. It is just. I wanted to write light novels about a guy that rapes women. So I put it in a fantasy setting, and then gave a whole bunch of really lame excuses to justify why this guy should be able to rape women. And then some anime studio was like, hey, Goblin Slayer was a mediocre as fuck show, but that got super popular because it had rape in its first episode. I bet we could make some easy money just doing a shit job animating this and get money from people who want to make Twitter mad. And that's what this show is. It's nothing of value. This could be burnt off the face of the planet and nothing would be lost. There you go. That's my opinions on Redo of a Healer.
Okay.
All right.
Fair.
That's
Yeah.
I somehow not surprised
Yeah.
that is your opinion. But
Yeah.
but yeah.
I'm more angry about the... So, to get a general idea of, like, why I hadn't heard about this, because I figured, like, Goblin Slayer got a whole lot of people talking about it,
Right.
but I didn't hear about this until you guys brought it up last week. So, I checked out, like, I tried looking on, like, Twitter, and even TikTok to see if anybody was discussing this. Not really a whole lot of conversations. Hopped on Reddit to see what the Reddit people were talking about, and it's literally the only reason people are watching this show is because they're like, I just want to see the leftist on Twitter get real angry. I don't understand how you could view this character as a villain. He's totally justified in what he does, and it's like, fuck you, losers.
So I like it. I mean, okay, so I'm leftist, so fuck those people. But I like it because he's the villain. And the show tries. I don't know if the show's trying to portray him as the hero. I don't know. I feel like it's not. I feel like it keeps flip flopping. I feel like from scene to scene, one scene he's very objectively the villain, and the next scene he's like, but he's the hero, and that's really my only complaint with it. Also, I mean, rape makes me uncomfortable, even in anime. But I am digging the fact that he is the villain, and I kind of like stories about seeing people become pretty much an unforgivable villain.
I feel like that's giving the show too much credit. Like, I can't... There's nothing in, like, the writing, the visual direction, the characters, the music of this fucking anime, that indicates that this was anything more than a guy that just wanted to write out rape fantasies. Like, there's literally nothing to the show. If you took the rape element out of the show, it would be nothing. Like, yeah.
That's fair. I mean, that's fair. We have different interpretations of it, and I don't think you're wrong.
For me, it's just a reminder that fucking people are there are a lot of evil people out there, and you'd be surprised of what, like, you know, what's behind somebody's face, you know, what people are actually thinking and whatnot. Until
some guy uses his busted weird ass OP healing power to change their face, which don't even, like, it's worse for this. Like, it's show frustrates me so much because not only is it like very blatant what it's trying to do, but then as somebody who can't shut their brain off and is like, oh, what are the mechanics of this world? How do they work? And just the show doesn't make any fucking sense. Even if you took out the right part, like his dumb healing powers don't make any fucking sense either. What the fuck kind of bullshit is this?
Kyle, they asked for the healer to adjust. He adjusted.
No, that's not. That isn't how. It's not how any of this fucking works.
He didn't adjust himself. He adjusted the world. He adjusted the world.
I used my healing power to instantly murder you.
Yeah, dude.
No, that's not how. That's literally not how the word healing works. That's
like
fucking.
when you're healing when your skin heals, right? It grows more cells, right?
Shut up, Jeff.
What's cancer?
It's not cancer. It's more like a fever.
I know.
Where like your body's like, oh no, there's a fucking virus. Time to burn down the house.
All right. Other than those three things that I watched, I read a little bit more of One Piece, not a whole lot. I'm still in the exact same.
Oh, there's a cat.
Oh, god damn it! She's outside my door.
Would you say you read One Piece of One Piece?
I read more than One Piece of One Piece. I read like
2-piece,
4-piece.
4-piece.
I got the 4 for One Piece. Have you made any progress on that at all?
Nope, I've just been dealing with other stuff that I wanted to do. Like, it's okay.
Cool.
It's okay, Kyle.
I still have that 500 chapter lead.
lead.
So
you got a good jump on me. That shonen jump.
Yeah.
Hey.
God damn it.
Hey.
Beyond that, I got put on that TikTok train, and I imagine I've been going pretty hard on it because I've been sending out these guys whole bunches of TikToks. I don't know if you guys have ever seen anything that I've sent you already.
I don't see anything that Speedy and not Speedy, that fucking Taco and Knuckle Bomber sent me.
Yeah, he doesn't.
And Hero is too much of a coward to add me as a friend on TikTok, so I can't send him every single bit of Sonic or furry shit that I see right at him.
That's precisely why. That's precisely why.
And it frustrates me because I saw a really good one. Hey, Hero, is your favorite historical pantheology the Egyptians?
No.
Why? They're all furries.
Because...
Oh, fuck you.
No words, but...
You sent me that TikTok. No.
I think my favorite pantheon might be...
Hey, that's a good topic for a podcast.
Yeah,
we should do that sometime.
that's not a real
Favorite
question,
pantheon?
Jeff. He was trying to bait you.
Yeah.
Oh.
Other than that, I was gonna try and start recording for a solo act for Cyberpunk 2077. However, even after all of the patches, I still keep seeing bothersome shit about the game. On top of the fact that there hasn't been any like clear idea whether the fucking copyright content ID stuff has been fixed. On top of that, I also found out like there's a huge error with the skill system where like apparently 35 of the perks in the fucking game don't actually fucking do anything at all whatsoever. They just don't function.
What a surprise.
So I'm going to be postponing that. If you're wondering when that might come up again, apparently No Man's Sky got really good, and it only took it 4 years to be a $60 worth game. So, I don't know, maybe in 2024, you'll see Cyberpunk 2077 on the channel.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned for your itch. But that's it. What about you, Hero?
Right.
What have you been doing?
Well, you brought up Rurouni Kenshin, and the star of Rurouni Kenshin actually was was a Kamen Rider, was Deno. We're not watching Kamen Rider Deno. We are watching Force, me and Marcus. Kamen Rider Force is well, it's a Kamen Rider that appeared back in 2011. It's about essentially a quote unquote delinquent, a lovable delinquent is a Kamen Rider. He wants to make friends with everybody in the school and stuff.
He's a shitty JoJo's reject.
He's great. Yeah, like it's been a pretty enjoyable. It's been a pretty enjoyable time. It's been a while since me and Marcus actually sat down and watched anything Tokusatsu related.
We still need to finish Q Ranger.
Speaking of which, well, not Tokusatsu. We still need to finish Q Ranger, yes. Which Aldo, by the way, I know this is out of the blue, but have you ever seen Crow Zero?
Seeing what?
Crow Zero.
Probably not.
All right, it's a Japanese movie about delinquents.
Nope.
They're all trying to
high
out
school.
badass each other by being king of the school, just beating the shit out of each other.
Yeah.
You
No,
you might like
no, I
it.
haven't seen it.
All right.
Nice.
Yeah, I think you might like it. Yeah, we'll watch it sometime.
Okay.
I think it'll be a good watch.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, Kamen Rider. I started watching Gundam Seed Destiny. I'm on episode 10. Don't you shake your head at me. Yeah, Kira's been showing up.
What a surprise! You mean the protagonist of the first season showed up in the second season? What a twist! Wow, who didn't see that coming?
Obviously
Jeff.
not Jeff.
Jeff didn't see that coming.
Oh, sorry. I was expecting him to be showing up later. That's episode.
You mean
8.
Japan's favorite protagonist from their favorite Gundam series? You thought he was gonna show up later in the season, not early? Wow, God, you hurt me sometimes.
I know, but I'm continuing. I'm continuing on through it. So far, Shinosuke, not a bad guy. He's just really cat scratching your fucking.
Yeah.
Is that scratching post or is that your bed?
It's my mattress. Jesus Christ, calm the fuck down, Kiki.
Yeah. So far, Shinosuke is not bad so far. He just hates Atherin because it's the military's fault that his family's dead. Gundam. Let's see, what else have I been doing? Other than usual, just been drawing, building models.
Oh, we got
Shit.
you thinking about a
I've really
Stream
done a
Deck.
whole lot. Yeah, I'm thinking about getting a Stream Deck. That's something to look possible in the future. Working on more art. Yeah, actually, I just the usual stuff for me, other than watching Gundam and Kamen Rider. Now we're actually gonna be planning on watching City Hunter. So that's gonna be fun. And yeah, like I said, nothing really out of the ordinary for me to the extent of my memory. All right, so that's it for our weeks. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What?
Can I get an oh yeah?
Yeah.
Aw, yeah.
All right. Oh jeez. All right. So let's hop on the topic. Yeah. What are you playing at, Kyle?
Oh,
Pointing up a cat.
That's Kiki. All right. So, you guys know about the topic, right?
yeah. What
Nope.
do you got?
Nope. Oh. I think it was just me and you talking about the topic, Kyle.
Well, I posted it out there and added everybody in the podcast.
I know you
today.
did. I didn't. I read it and it left my head.
Okay.
It's
It's
gear.
No,
Oh.
that's
Oh, that's
news.
news.
I was looking the wrong thing then.
It's in podcast updates. But yeah, we're going to talk about how we got our online monikers. You know, our little interweb nicknames.
Yep.
Our net aliases.
Aliases.
Natalius.
All right.
That
Yeah.
sounds like a fantasy.
And if possible, we just go back in time. We just talk about our previous nicknames, gamer tags, or even nicknames that we have in real life and stuff.
Oh boy.
Marcus,
What's up?
go first, buddy. Talk about your Knuckle Bomber and any previous gamer tags.
So
and
the Knuckle Bomber one.
and stuff you had
I don't know if you guys...
during your tenure.
Yeah, dox
Oh,
yourself
yeah.
for us, please.
So I don't know if you guys have ever seen the anime Tenho Tenge. Okay,
Yeah.
so there was the two guys that just show up, right? Bob and the blonde kid. Yeah, that guy.
So true.
And they show up and they try to just kick the shit out of everybody, right? Well, when they show up and they introduce themselves, they call themselves the Knuckle Bombers. And at the time, I thought that was the coolest shit, because they would just go around, start kicking the shit out of everybody. Then lo and behold, they go against the one quiet kid who just knows his shit, and he just fucks him up super bad, which causes him to want to get even stronger. But yeah, that name just stood out to me, and I was like, fuck yeah, I want to be a Knuckle Bomber, let's go.
Yeah, I'll give you that. Shady
Yeah.
to put sprites on. Yeah, that's a whole fun thing.
Oh yeah, try putting that into a Smash Melee name box.
Yeah,
Yep.
you get
Kimber.
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 He's falling down. He's yelling, Kimber.
Did you have any other game
okay,
tags
so like
in-
if you were to go off of
Marcus?
like my old PlayStation name at the time, it was Jonin Shadow. Tells you like, yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, cool. I tried to change
Yeah,
that, but like
yeah,
at the time you couldn't change your names on PlayStation. You were just kind of stuck with that.
Right.
Unless like you wanted to make a whole new account,
Right.
but I already had a whole bunch of things attached to the account that I wouldn't be able to transfer over. So I was stuck with that god-awful name for a while. Until I was able to change it. But right as they announced the changes, Knuckle Bomber was taken before I was able to hit enter. So now it is... What's up?
Hey, Marcus. You weren't
Yeah,
up on my
bullseye.
head.
Other than that, like, anything that I would have had in the past, always incorporated the name Shadow in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, everyone liked to be edgy at one point in time. Unless you're Kyle, where, you know, edge is your life. Edgy all the time.
Edgy all the time. Your life was on the edge.
I didn't choose the edge life.
I was
The edge
born
life
in the
chose me.
darkness, molded.
You can't stop edging.
What about you, Mr. Taco?
Blissful.
Why tacos?
Like,
I know
Why
they're delicious.
Steamboat? That's what I'm more interested about. Like, I get tacos. Tacos are delicious.
Well,
but,
you guys-
But
you
where
guys-
the
you guys
fuck?
went the- you
like,
guys-
like at one point, were you a really big like Steamboat Willie aficionado? Were you like really deep in that fandom?
You weren't there. You were there during the transition.
yeah. So okay. So before Steamboat Taco, my like online stuff, everything was X
yeah, that's right.
Threshold. X because I'm a '90s kid and I was millennial. But Threshold because that was one of the songs from the Scott Pilgrim soundtrack. I just really dug that. But then I also like later Threshold is also like a furniture company that makes really overpriced shitty furniture. And like for some reason I know I'm never gonna make it big, but like in my head I'm always trying to future proof, like just in case. And I was like, if I get big, I really don't want to be associated with this fucking furniture company. So I changed it. So I changed it to Steamboat Taco. So Taco, I mean, yes, because I'm Hispanic. So, and I like tacos, but also
Soccer.
tacos was my. I didn't realize it at the time, but it was my racist nickname from my friend. Cause she used to call me Taco, and it wasn't because I am Hispanic. It's because I mean, it is, but it's also because I made a joke in like high school about cause I think it was just about like people's sexuality, and I was like, people just fall into one of two camps. Typically, you either like a burrito or you like a taco. And if I have to explain that to you, I don't want to. And she was like, well, obviously you like tacos. I'm like, hell yeah, I'm all about tacos. And ever since then, she just called me Taco. So like that just kind of became her nickname for me. So yeah. So then later, when I was trying to pick a new online moniker, Taco is obviously already taken by in every way, shape, or form in the earth. So yeah, actually, you kind of hit it on the head. I really like Steamboat Willie. It's one of my favorite.
Oh shit!
Yeah. I mean, it is one of my favorite like Disney movies. I also really like Asshole Mickey from like the early years. So Steamboat Taco just kind of has the same flow as Steamboat Willie. You know, two syllables per word.
Syllables.
It just worked, and I just kind of kept that. And then I was all like, yeah, I'm gonna enterprise. So like my website, I have a website that I don't use. That's called Neon Steamboat. And so the whole idea was to do what Jeff is doing and get my friends on it, and then we would all be a different sort of steamboat. So it'd be like Steamboat Taco, Steamboat Hero, Steamboat whatever, right?
Steamboat Edgelord.
Yeah, exactly.
Steamboat. Actually.
So that was
It's
just
a
kind
fucking
of
steamboat that has like just razor blades.
yeah. Yeah, so that was the whole idea behind that. So like I still have that website. I've been meaning to use it as like a writing portfolio, but I just don't use it at all. It just kind of sits there and I pay for it every month. But yeah, I don't know. When I made my second online moniker, I was like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna pick something I like, something that doesn't feel like super like embarrassing or like a little like edgy, like millennial edge or whatever. so
Who?
so I went with something.
Oh man.
Something I guess like inoffensive, and that like if somebody asked me where'd you get it from, I could just be like, yeah, Steamboat Willie. I like tacos. I am Hispanic.
Do you want me with or without the poncho?
So yeah. Kyle, since it seems like I struck a nerve, why don't you go next?
So there's quite a bit of history leading up to Issa Kyle. When I first started using the internet, back when I was 12 or 13, I was the male equivalent of a horse girl. I was a dragon boy. Glad you guys love that. So, of course, my first username was going to be Dragon Shayd. Of course. I've changed my internet moniker quite a few fucking times because I'm an indecisive white boy. I can't settle on what's the edgiest at that point in time, so I've gone through a few of them. I was Dragon Shayd up until I got banned from IGN for getting into a flame war about the Final Fantasy VII waifu wars. So I ended up making a new account. And at that point in time, I was really into Yu-Gi-Oh! My favorite card was Buster Blader. So I became Buster Shayd.
I was hoping you would have gone with Dragon Shade Z.
Buster Scales.
No. I'm Buster Claw.
The Scaly Boy. Oh boy, that's gonna stick now. Buster Claw, the Scaly Man.
Dark Scale.
Like, you guys keep coming up with these, but they don't get any much better from here. after that, I kind of like fell out of Yu-Gi-Oh because I didn't have anyone to play it with because I lived in fucking rural ass Kentucky, and I kind of moved on from Yu-Gi-Oh to the new hotness, which was Shaman King, and I really liked Faust from Shaman King.
Oh,
And I also been playing a whole bunch of Ninja Gaiden at the time, so I became Necros_Ninja 13.
I thought you were gonna say. I thought you were gonna be like a literary edgelord. So he was gonna be Faust from the Faustian tale, the story of Faust.
No. Come on.
I gave
I'm a
would that be
weed
edge or
first.
goth?
I gave you too much credit.
Yeah. Kiki, can you not meow right into my fucking microphone while I'm trying to be edgy?
Man, I guess you lose some. I guess you lose some edge when you're fucking.
When you finally hit 30, yeah.
I was gonna say we get interrupted by pussy.
So I went with that for like a very brief, short moment in time. And then when I was 13, I decided it was time for me to reinvent myself. So I've moved on from Shaman King to Yu Yu Hakusho, and I think
You're going a step above Shonen Jump.
yeah. And I think we can all kind of gander what my favorite character from Yu Yu Hakusho would have been.
Urameshi.
So
Not yet.
I became Yami Ryu 13 in Roman numerals instead of the fucking Aldo's just, oh no. Why? I don't know why you expected anything more from a 13-year-old.
Oh god.
Okay, the thing that cracks me up too is that you did it with like Roman numerals for like whatever reason.
Oh, yeah.
But the problem is every time
Because they're cooler.
Okay, yeah, but every time I see Roman numeral 13, the first stupid thought in my head is like Organization 13.
Yeah. So I was Yami Ryu 13 for quite a bit of time. It's when I started and stopped my AMV career. Or no, that's not true. I started my AMV career there.
I forgot one of my monikers. We'll come back to that. We'll come back to that when you're done.
I started my Mugen career off of that. That's why I have my old oh my god, my like 15-year-old YouTube account still has more views than the entire channel of Evil Squirtles does because of my fucking Mugen videos.
I guess we gotta get to the Mugen game, 20 years later.
After that, that was my username for like such a long fucking time. I used to troll the Crunchyroll forums with that username for a super long time. I eventually got banned from Crunchyroll's forums for insinuating that one of the moderators was a pedophile. I was real fucking edgy, guys. Like,
Oof.
I was, yeah. This is like shit edge, and then I fall into like a period where it's worse, and then it gets better. Trust me. And then I bounced around a few like different dumb monikers, like Ashimaru69. This is the worst one. Setzer6669.
Repeat that again?
Setzer, like the Final Fantasy VI character. But I didn't know him from Final Fantasy VI. I knew him from Kingdom Hearts 2, of course.
The gambling dude?
Yes. And then 666 because it's the devil's number. But then you add a 9, so you can get a 69 in there. This is well into like Bleach had come out, and I decided that Hisagi Shuhei was my favorite character. That's obviously one thing that I've stuck to throughout all these years. And then like I hit like my 20s, and I was like, fuck, I've got a credit card now. I need all of this shit to stay on one account, so I gotta pick something that's really, real good. So This fucking cat. So then, I decided to go with Res Umbra, because Umbra translates to Latin as a shadow, which was a play off of the name that I was going off of at the time. But everyone uses Umbra because it's the Latin translation of shadow. So I needed to spice it up somehow. So I just looked up what the Latin word for like human or being was, and that was res. So that's where that came from. And that's what I use as like my like PlayStation. Anytime I sign up for like a gaming account, that's what I use. And then for anime stuff, I went as the Buzzkill Otaku, because one of my friends called me a buzzkill, and I'm like, fuck it, I'll get into the anime Anituber game, and then that didn't fucking happen. And then Isekai came from that fucking conversation we had when when I started calling you Jeff Furry, and then we had Gobblos, and then you guys called me Isekai, and I'm like, you know what? I like that. It's nice. It's simple. Even though I fucking hate isekai anime.
That's one of the biggest reasons why I called you isekai, because you fucking hate isekai anime.
But like, I liked it. It was fun enough. Like, it's a play off of my normal name. Like,
you could easily like put it into like a freaking anime YouTuber.
Yeah.
And stuff. Yeah.
And if I don't want somebody to think that I'm a weeaboo, I can thank K-Bash for this. I can just say it's Ice Kyle, but I purposely misspelled it. But yeah,
I guess
and then
Ice
I did
Kyle
have
sounds pretty cool.
Hey.
Yeah.
I feel bad that the audience can't hear us do finger guns.
All two of us. Wait, when we get a nice following, guys, we'll do the video podcast and stuff like that.
Fuck, we can just do the video podcast now.
Well, later, much later.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The video podcast would probably help us grow an audience faster than whatever we're doing now.
Fair.
And then I did have one real life nickname. As all white American children who have no fucking clue whatsoever, I had a Japanese name. Alright, Aldo, what did you want to talk about with that? The whole
So
AMV
you
thing?
reminded me of my online moniker from even before I had met Jeff and Marcus, Kanoko Bomber and Jeff, and Hero. My previous online moniker was Chronic Ninja. So you
that's exactly what I would expect from Squish.
so
in all
okay.
honesty.
So it's also okay. So obviously I grew up with Naruto. I loved Naruto. So like Ninja was because of that. I was not into like 420 weed culture at all at that time. So the Chronic mostly came out of because I was like, oh, time magic, like time ninjutsu would be fucking cool. So it was Chronic, but I had a hard time spelling it, so I spelled it differently. So it was like Cronik, Ninja. And it wasn't till like later that I realized that was a word for the marijuanas. So for like, I don't know, a good solid like 4 or 5 years, my online moniker was Chronic Ninja. That's what it was on DeviantArt. That's what it was on YouTube. That's what it was on Gaia Online and Neopets. No, don't you fucking look it up. Don't you fucking do it.
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. I found that DeviantArt. Yo. Hey, man, you can search Yami Ryu 13 all you want. I'll fucking link you my YouTube channel.
Okay.
Well, too bad.
But yeah, so that's you reminded me when you said AMVs. I was like, oh yeah, that was an unfortunate thing. And the worst part is I went to the fucking Idaho convention to AO, before I knew Marcus, really. I think at that point still. And they had like a ninja event thing where like people be like the ninjas stuff and like they stole shit from each other or whatever. I don't remember much about it. All I remember is I fucking stood up on that fucking stage and called myself Chronic Ninja while wearing a stupid black Link hat and just like having no shame whatsoever.
I remember that. I remember that.
No, you don't.
Oh, I do.
I feel like that event is
Oh my god.
is has the exact same vibes as when we went to Colorado, and I was wearing the Get Smoked hat, and people kept complimenting me on it, and I was like, man, I didn't think there would be so many Persona 5 fans here, and then I was like, oh wait.
That's like the opposite of my Rocket Punch hat, which is
Oh,
I think it's downstairs. Yeah,
Yeah,
my
come
Rocket
on,
Punch
like
hat is a vape hat.
Right over there.
But I didn't get it because I love the fucking vape brand. I got it because the Rocket Punch is fucking, it's a weep shit. I did it with the opposite intention. I intentionally got it from a different thing for another thing. And you know what the saddest part is? Nobody has ever commented on my hat, ever, and that makes me sad.
What, like my free T-shirt that said that says Space Jam because it's a juice, and everyone's like, I fucking love that movie, dude. I'm like, it's the juice.
It's the
They're like,
juice.
hell yeah, it's the juice. That secret juice.
Give me the juice.
Like secret sauce.
Oh man.
Oh man. Anyways, that's enough cringe.
Oh no, we're not
Oh,
done.
no,
Wait, hold on. I want
Nope.
to.
We need to go back to Kyle.
Kyle,
That's
Yeah.
enough of my cringe. I guess
you gotta
is what I
finish it.
meant.
You gotta.
That's enough.
What's that?
Yeah, that little last
that
cringe that you
cringe
just
have?
had to segue away from it.
Yeah.
What last cringe? I thought we
No.
were moving on to Jeffrey.
No.
No, what you got, buddy? We waiting.
So my Japanese name, as decided by a shit ton of white boys with access to Google Translate, was
Damn, Kiki is on one.
it's real
Did
kiki
you have
hours
jump?
apparently. Yeah, I got a shelf next to my fucking
Oh.
yeah. It was Shido-kun, Shiido. That's who I was, and I ran with the Shinsengumi, the Wolves of Leighton, with my Nakama Shiro, Satsujin, Ketsueki, and Tenma.
Wolves of Leighton.
Yep.
That's. I feel like that's worse than like the name I wanted to name our Monster Hunter things that I was gonna make. So I was gonna call us the hunting adventures of the Boncho Boys. And I was like, Boncho Boys, no thanks. But also, God, that sounds cool, but also not really. I don't know.
Boncho Boys or Wolves of Leighton? Because Boncho Boys does sound cool. Wolves of Leighton does not. Especially not for a group of fucking 15-year-old boys who just roam around the neighborhood at midnight and kick in vinyl fences. Alright, Jeffrey. There's no escape. You're
Can't escape
cornered.
crossing fate, my dude. You get those hands off your face. You look up and you talk to us.
Welcome to the cringe crossover.
Say it with your chest.
So goddamn much.
Come on. What
Come
what
on,
was
come
your
on, man.
name? What,
Hold on.
What,
My
What
favorite
was
thing
the-
about Jeff is he's the person who gave himself his own nickname and then forces people to use them. And
I don't force anybody.
come on. Tell me what
I don't-
illustrious pen name penned Cry of Melee.
Come on, Southpaw.
God damn it! Oh,
Tell us.
God damn it!
do it.
Hey, you didn't see me whining and moaning about Shido-kun.
Oh fuck!
Hey, I wrote fan fiction back in the day.
So cry at Melee.
I told you about Chronic Ninja's fucking short-lived AMV career. Let's go.
So, as you guys know, I'm a big fan of Sonic. So, when anime was becoming really popular, I love the fact that I really like Inuyasha, and I like the fact that he had fucking dog ears.
Okay, so I got.
Come on,
I
Rock
really
Dog.
like Sonic.
Come on, Rock
Really
Dog,
like
spit it out.
I named myself fucking. So for my pet name with one of my friends
Fucking crying.
was Foxboy. I'm glad because this is fucking embarrassing and hilarious.
Foxboy.
So it used to be like whenever I went on like back then for like Neopets and whatnot, it used to be either Foxboy or like Foxboy '07 because I like the number 7, and there were 7 Chaos Emeralds. So I kept on using that until I got to my I want to say delinquent phase, and going on with the theme of Sonic. Like Aldo, I used the first word of his nickname of Ninja, his AV name of Ninja. I like the word before Ninja. Except I had the Hedgehog because I was slowly getting into the weed culture at the age of teenager. So I was Chronic the Hedgehog. I don't know if I have it, but
Oh my! You couldn't keep quiet on that one, could you?
Chronic the Hedgehog.
I started dabbling in the weed culture a lot when I was a teenager. I don't know, but I have a cursed shirt that's a picture of a green Sonic in the background with the green background and stacks of money that just says Super Marijuana, and he has a fucking grill. I don't know if I have that shirt, but when this podcast is over, I'll show you guys the shirt if I have it still. I gave it to Squish back when he was deep in the weed culture, and he gave it back to me. He's like, I don't want this anymore. This thing is cursed. But I think I gave it just to remember what the fuck kind of idiot I was in the day. So, god damn it. Getting into more, dabbling into more weedness.
Chronic the Hemp Hog.
Yes. So, hopping into the weed culture now, I went under the pen name of Dai Sansei. I'm pretty sure that I still sometimes use that username actually for a bunch of stuff just because that fucking it's easy. I just remember it being translated as great 3-star, Dai being big or great, San number 3, and then Sei, short for Jose or Hoshi, or another word for Ryusei, which is shooting star and stuff like that. So I just used the Sei part to make it great 3-star because I was making a comic which Cry Melee and Tears of Chaos were kind of based on, and it was called Arc. You can talk to a lot of my old friends, you can talk to Squishy and them about Arc and how balls deep I was in trying to make it to become a big thing, but that didn't go well. I actually haven't even touched Arc in a long ass time, which Arc was my dumb personal project that I wanted to make to the next this is
your Melee fanfiction trilogy.
It was going to be my attempt at making a big shonen battle manga and stuff like that,
Okay.
my big shonen comic. And I don't want to talk much about Arc because I'm actually not I'm not upset or afraid of talk about Arc. I'm still very passionate about Arc, but I haven't really tried to put everything out, and I feel like there's already, in my opinion, as a person that wanted to make this real, right now there's just too much shonen, battle shonen stuff out there that's really good. and whatnot, and that's why PK is a thing, and which is like probably the total opposite of that. Which you guys should read, which on both Facebook and Webtoons, like I say every time in the end of my YouTube videos. But Dai Sensei started was like so I was like, well, what if I make like a thing with a bunch of other people, other people that like drawing like comic books and stuff like that, or like want to make like a manga or not. So that's where I got Show Trick, because it's actually short for Shonen Trick. Because I was trying to make this into a thing for me and a few of my weeb colleagues before I met, Aldo being my first adult weeb colleague. Yeah, that didn't go well. So everything just kind of went short to Show Trick, which is my current thing in some websites and whatnot. And a lot of people consider it as Shot Rick or Shot Trick, which I'm like, all right, yeah, that's good. Sure, let's go with that. You don't need to just go with it and avoid the whole weebness behind the name. Let's see. Before we get to Hero, all right, we'll go with all the other fun shit too. So let's talk about the origin of Southpaw.
Yeah! Give me the Southpaw origin story, baby! Inject it right into my veins!
Let's go.
Come on, Fox Wolfie.
God damn it.
Yep.
So, Con.
It's good you already said it.
Southpaw was initially a Shadow Wolf. The Shadow Wolf tribe were a elite group of warriors that engulfed in the studies of the darkness. They fought in the shadows. They thrived in the shadows. I'm totally fucking. So, Southpaw was originally was the son of Northclaw, the Abyssal Wolf. But Southpaw didn't wanted more than darkness. He yearned for the light. So he abandoned his tribe. He abandoned everything, his family, his friends, his loved ones, because he wanted to break through. He wanted to break through the darkness, get the light. He wanted to bust out into the light. So he is now known as Southpaw the Buster Wolf. He's currently running away from the forces of Northclaw, the Abyssal Wolf, and he's finding friends along the way, like a snow leopard, a red panda. He is soon going to create a certain kind of syndicate in regards to his sovereign,
some sort of sovereign state.
I want to point out something here real fast. This is like recent, because I was there when Jeff was like, I don't want to be Shadow Wolf anymore, it's too edgy.
It's true. He's like, I'm changing it to Buster.
Hard Drive wrote an article about me. I don't want to be Sonic
He got
Fox's
mad because
rival.
it started getting too real. We were gonna make you a suit, dog. This is gonna happen. It's still gonna happen.
I
We're the prototype for the
God damn
mouth.
it, no.
We have pics. We have pics.
Fuck. But no, like real talk though, it was initially started off as a joke that I was a furry, and then I'm just like, you know what, fuck it, I am furry.
Was that ever a joke?
Ooh.
Because we all know Sonic fans all have 1 foot into the furry door already.
And Jeff.
Yeah.
Remember NDK when we started to unlock those locks?
Oh yeah.
That moment that Agretzko came on stage.
We don't.
They
talk
were
about this.
full.
doors
They
were
were
open.
swung open.
Oh god. Though real talk though, we should go back to NDK sometime. That was fun.
And one might say it was a awakening.
Yes. Yes.
Damn it.
Oh god, yeah. All right, good.
God damn it.
All right.
So I'm now known as I am. But yeah, it was initially started off as a joke, but I think the joke got a little too real.
the fiction
All right.
has become nonfiction.
The lies have become the truth. All right, so in regards to hero, the one I go for, hello everyone, you're truly hero here, all that stuff. It's more so of like a couple things. First one, I find it a personal confidence booster for myself. Just because that I was kind of treated as a kind of a gopher with my old group of friends, like before Speedy and all them, well, Squishy and all them, and like I was kind of just seemed like kind of like I talk about it in the Dead series I made called like my experience points. I was kind of a toady, if you guys seen the Christmas Carol. The guy's kind of like, yeah, get him, boss, like that. Marcus. Yeah, it was like I was like that. I was kind of like the lackey, the gopher. I wasn't really the. I was really more so the side character of a lot of people's story. I could have easily faded into the background of a lot of what my friends were doing. They're like, yeah, Jeff, you coming? Yeah, sure, but anybody new and stuff like that. Didn't really just only noticed me because of my, complexion and stuff like that. But on that, I was kind of like, I could have just melted away with the crowd and stuff. So it wasn't until I started hanging out with Squishy and all them that I decided to go under the moniker Hero, or yours truly Hero, because I want to be more, I want to be more out there and stuff like that for myself. That's one of the big reasons. Another reason is because that I just like back then. I probably don't know if I do it now. Actually, I liked helping out people and stuff. I was all about helping people more than helping myself than anything else. I wanted to try to be, I wanted to be an overall good guy. Like I was baptized and stuff like that, but I didn't have like the fear of God instilled in me, as a kid and whatnot. I just wanted to just kind of help people out as I go, like wanted to help, my dad, wanted to help like, my friends and whatnot, which is probably why I actually went for why I was treated like a gopher and stuff like that. And like it wasn't like kind of I want to serve people. It's just I want people to like be like, hey, you okay? What happened? I want to be that. I want to be the the person that's there when someone needs to talk about anything. Want to be just kind of want to be there for people who need somebody to be there and whatnot. Like give people not advice, but like give them my experiences in regards to stuff. Like that's why experience points is based off of. And yeah. Also, like another one is that I did a lot of stuff growing up where people would say like, oh, like jokingly, right? Not like, oh, you're my hero and stuff like that, Like one time Jesus, this is not embarrassing, but you guys could take this with a grain of salt or not, if you think. But like I swim like a rock. All right. Like, I say I swim like a rock, but I just swim poorly. I saved a kid 2 years younger from me drowning back when I was 9. In the swimming pool next to the apartments I grew up at. That was probably the more serious one. Obviously more serious one. And I did a lot of stuff that made like, kids like jokingly like, oh, you're so cool, Jeff, or whatever, back in high school. Like, when I had a phone call, I don't know if it was from Squishy or from somebody else, and I just picked it up during the middle of math class. And the teacher's like, put that phone away. I'm like, give me a sec, let me finish this call for real quick. And then like one of my sister's friends who was taking class with me was like, Jeff, you're my hero. That's so fucking cool. And another one to end it like in a funnier note, which in like disclaimer, if you're gonna be any sort of member of like any teacher or whatnot, please don't do what this vice principal did. Okay, so I told you guys I was into kind of like the weed/gangster culture growing up. There was a lot of shirts that me and my friends wore that said Player 69. Yes.
Nice.
Nice.
Um,
No.
So one day, like I was wearing the yellow hoodie that said Player 69 on it, and my counselor is like, Jeff, put that away and stuff. I'm like, all right, whatever. So I put it away in my locker and whatnot, and I just continued on the day. In my, I think it was my social studies class, I got cold, and we were in the computer lab, so I fucking grabbed the hoodie and I put it on and stuff. So we're on the computer and stuff like that, and then my teacher's like, all right, so we have a visitor here. Can he come in? It was the same school counselor that came in. He's like, all right, everybody, so this is what we're doing. He looks at me, he's like, you, come with me right now. I'm like, fuck. So I went with him to this office. So it's like, you know why I told you to take off that sweater. Blah 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 blah. Adult banter. Yada yada yada. I was like, we're talking to the vice principal about this. So the vice principal comes in. He's like, so this hoodie. I'm like, yeah. You know about this hoodie, right? No, not really. You know what this hoodie basically says, right? It's like, no. It's like, you know what a 69 is, right? No.
Yeah, it's when you take a yin yang and you split it apart.
You do it with your hands like this. He's like, Jeff or Jeffrey, 69 is a sex position. That, my friends, without a parent's signature, you could tell your parents what your vice principal or teacher said, and they could sue the school, if not the district. Because they're not supposed to say that kind of thing to a child, regardless of whether they know it or not. That's where I fucked up. I didn't know anything about the law system at that time. So, obviously, not only did I give the school the sweater, I was in ISS. For those of you guys who do not know what ISS is.
Ah, yeah, in-school
Yeah,
suspension.
you know what ISS is!
Yeah!
Yes! Kyle!
I got put into in-school suspension for a whole class period.
Right?
Consistently throughout the whole year. Because I in front of the whole entire class, I told my English teacher she didn't know what the fuck she was talking about, and she was by far the worst adult that I had ever interacted with, and she would not allow me into her class, and the school didn't want to put me into any other teacher's class, so I just had in-school suspension for like an actual period.
Okay, cool. I am not the only one that knows about ISS then. Jesus. So I spent ISS in the period. I spent ISS in like one of my for like the next class and whatnot, and then I got lunch attention, and yeah, I never saw that hoodie again, and I was just told, Jeff, that was funny. You're my hero. So most of the hero stuff comes from jokes, and only one time when it was serious. Yeah. Wasn't expecting that, were you guys?
No.
All right.
Well, does anyone know where Squish came from?
Yes, actually I do.
Why? How did he get that?
So,
real quickly, give it to me in 1 minute or less.
1 minute less. So, once Squishy moved in, he used to hang out in a group, and I was associated called DAK. We were like a parody of a Jackass group. It was short for Dumbass Crew. So our friend at the time, known as Cox, last name, he grabbed a squeegee and he hurled it at, I think it was at a Cox or our friend Speedy's older brother. They threw it at a squeegee at Squishy. So Squishy's original nickname was Squeegee for a time. Go forward like a few years later. we decided to call him Squish because he's a big boy and stuff, and he just kind of stuck with it. Also, a heads up in regards to the whole Bobby Boulevard stuff. That's something that he made back in when he was in California, along with the numbers as well.
Oh, yeah. Has he used any of that for the Evil Squirtle stuff?
Bobby Boulevard?
Yeah.
No, it's
Okay.
just stuff. I think he uses it for his PSN, but I'm not sure.
He uses it for his PSN and his job email.
Yeah.
But okay.
But yeah. Oh, also, I forgot. Evil Squirtle, guys, is obviously. I want to tell you guys the origin of Evil Squirtle before we go to the news and stuff like that. So, there's an episode of Pokemon, right? I'm a big Pokemon fan, although I used to be a big Pokemon fan.
Yeah, the
I mean,
Squirtle
I'm
Squad episode.
I'm still a fan
not
of,
the
you,
Squirrel Squad,
of
actually.
Pokemon. I'm just not a fan of the fucking new games.
Yeah, fair. But Evil. So there's an episode of Pokemon called "The Island of Giant Pokemon," where Ash gets separated from his Pokemon, from most of his Pokemon, and they go around and try to find each other. So when the Pokemon are going, they use subtitles to show what they're talking about. So they're like, "Hey, so what happened with our trainers?" And stuff like that. And Squirrel's like, they probably got eaten by like some kind of crazy Pokemon. And then he does the evil Squirrel like, ah. Like you guys could see pretty much on all of our fucking, like, YouTube and fucking Spotify stuff. The picture of the Squirtle, just differently colored. And Charmander's like, dude, that's scary. Stop that. And he's like, sorry, my bad. I'm Squirtle. But yeah, that's where the evil Squirtle stuff comes from. And I just remember it because it was such a good, I just like the picture of the evil Squirtle. Just a grinning Squirtle with the sharp teeth. And that's what stuck. So yeah, Evil Squirtle. Alright. News time.
News.
Kyle, do you want to bring up the first topic, my friend?
Yeah, sure. So Guilty Gear Strive is coming out soonish.
Right.
With that, they decided to release a video kind of detailing the new modes and how that stuff's going to work. Few interesting things to note. Apparently, Arc Sys has had like a really bad lobby system for a lot of their games for a while. You alright there?
I saw that meme.
Oh. That reminds me, I need to change this.
I'm sorry. I need to
Jeez.
filter this out. Fucking Marcus walked out of the room. He's like, I gotta go pee. As he's opening the door, he's like waving the fucking fart air away from his ass, and that's why I lost it.
I saw Aldo laughing, and I saw something up in like in the meme post and stuff like that. I thought the meme that was what he was laughing was the freaking
Product guy talking, yeah. No, I went to go pull up the news for a second to go talk about this, and then I came back and Aldo's just fucking losing his shit. That's okay. It'll give more time for Knuckle Bomber to get back, because I'm sure he'll want to talk about this. Anyway, so apparently Arc Sys has kind of had like a weird lobby system where it's like moving around with avatars and initiating fights that way. Right. So they still have that kind of system. I do know it was like one of the complaints that they got in their beta. However, it looks like they're still going to go with that, but they also do just have the option to just quick match. I want to fight somebody online, as well as the standard of I'm doing practice mode. Somebody wants to fight, send them my way. So they've got that. Another interesting thing to note is that they still have the standard arcade mode. It looks like it won't be so standard, because it looks like they might have like God damn it. Fucking Knuckle Bomber. So it looks like you might have like 2v1 matches or matches with special modifiers while you go through arcade mode. Interestingly enough, they also announced that there's a full-blown story mode, but it's a viewing-only experience. There are no fights. or anything like that. You just watch a big giant movie of anime characters talking about gears.
Wasn't that how it was in?
I was
Xrd?
gonna say that. I thought that's what they did. I haven't gone to the XR story mode, but I know they've been releasing all of the XR story
Yeah.
stuff on YouTube. So it would lead me to believe that that's just they just pulled those from there. I don't know.
No, I think the XR did have like very limited fights. I want to say like when you first hop into the story mode, you had a fight with Kai and Soul.
Right.
But it was very minimal wise. It wasn't like Street Fighters or Mortal Kombat's where you'd be like, here's our chapter fight storyline, 4 chapters or 4 fights a chapter. It was like, here's the fight, okay, here's 20 minutes of fucking lore and shit. Fucking Guilty Gear's confusing ass lore. They also did show off a little bit of their tutorial mode. Looks like they will have the very basic bare bone standard mission mode. I did manage to pause and look at what some of the menus said for training. It looks like they might actually have like a dedicated setting for helping people practice block strings, which is really cool, rather than what we've had to do for the last what we've had to do for like the last 40 years, which is just grab a second player controller, randomly block it, stage intervals, and then record that, and then play it back so that I could practice my combos player 1, which is neat. But beyond that, it still looks like it's the very basic bitch ass practice mode, and that still really fucking sucks. But we'll see. We will see. Also, they announced that there is going to be crossplay between PS4 and PS5. And that's about it.
I was actually pretty excited about that announcement of the crossplay.
Same.
Because, I mean, I'm hoping by the time that game comes out, I have a PS5. But if I don't, I'm more than happy to pick up the PS4 copy for that. I mean, it's a fighting game. So hopefully, I'm probably going to wait for the reviews on that one, actually, for the PS4 version, just to make sure that it's well optimized. And I think it will be. I am a little burned by by Cyberpunk.
Cyberpunk.
So I do want to be a little cautious on that, but hopefully that won't really be an issue.
Oh man, but if you don't pre-order, you won't get the Kai with soul colors and the soul with Kai colors.
Unless it's Giovanna, like in a different costume, I don't care. Or if the pre-order bonus was Jack O' Lantern
the fact that
or Jack O' Valentine, then maybe.
I just find that really funny because I remember back in the ancient day of Rage comics, there was like a 4chan meme of a guy complaining about how people buy Madden every single fucking year, and then he goes up and he's got the Guilty Gear Cross Exard V2 Millennium Turbo Super Edition, and the way that the artist drew the case was that they also put in like a fucking blurb that's like, now with Kai as Soul and Soul is Kai. And so the fact that they did it for this, it was like, oh god, they did it. They finally did it. They did the ancient meme that only I will remember.
Let's see. So, what was it? The online lobby for Guilty Gear looked pretty interesting. I liked how they did that. You go around, change your little character, give them different hairstyles and stuff, interact with other people, and then just jump into matches. I thought that was pretty neat.
like 600 customizable
I'm
options.
not a fan
or
of
something like that.
It's
Or maybe
it's
it's
cute.
300.
But goddamn, I just want a fucking menu.
So I
Like
mean, I like
Yeah,
that better
it's-
than like what they did with Dragon Ball Fighters. Like I fucking hate that. I
Yes.
do not
Is
like
it-
having to just run around and go do all the thing. Like I know you can hit the button and just go to an instant lobby, but like I just feel like that's just too much.
Yeah, I guess I still feel like this isn't much better. Like I think it's the same thing, just a different.
Yeah.
It's
It's a very style.
yeah.
over
I just want a
function
fucking menu. I
thing.
mean, and I get that Guilty Gear's, I guess, signature. Obviously not its selling point, because its selling point is like really good. I think really good combat. But I get that a lot of Guilty Gear. I don't know, popularity comes from its style, but it's excessive style at points. But I feel like that, and like, I just feel like that is kind of gets in the way. Like, just give me a fucking menu, let me just jump into a fucking fight. I don't like having all that shit. So I don't know. I feel like it just looks different than the Dragon Ball one, or even the Xer Ref 2, whatever. I have to look at the fucking game case to even remember the full title. And it's just the same thing, just different presentation. It's just a different looking little tiny character. But like, I don't know. Other than that, I mean, it's Guilty Gear. It's gonna be good. I think they fixed up the UI a little bit so you can actually tell what people's health is at. So I think they're learning to like dial back the fucking excessiveness a little bit, because I know at some point like people were complaining that like it had too much style and like you couldn't see like the health bars or like the super meat or whatever meters they had or shit like that, and people were like, this is like, we get it, like it looks cool, but it would be nice if we could actually use it for what it's meant for. So yeah, anyways.
Well, freaking one thing I'm looking for Guilty Gear is that that open beta.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, they're having a new one, a second one, right?
Yeah, on the 18th.
Of April.
I don't know. This month.
No, of this
No,
month.
yeah, it's the
Yeah,
18th
yeah,
for
you get-
people who have pre-ordered the digital version. It's on the 19th for everybody else.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, and if you pre-order the game, you get to play it 3 days early.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
And like, so expect there to be some fun times for each of us from Evil Squirrel in regards to the beta. For
I think 2020, assuming ours truly hero gets the assets made, 2021 is the year of Basement Kings.
Yeah, there's one more asset I need to add for Basement Kings, and that'll be it. But also, like, they did confirm that we'll have rollback based on the I believe it's the Guilty Gear that's available on Steam right now. Which one is it?
There's 6 different versions of Guilty Gear available on Steam, my dude. It's one of the older versions. I think it's GGPO rollback though, which is super fucking good. It's the rollback that all the people in the US wants, because we have shitty internet infrastructure.
Yep.
So yeah, good on them. Hopefully there's no other issues with the online, so that Arxis is just like, fuck yeah, rollback, that's where it's at, people love it,
I think that's
we're going
why-
to shove it in everything, and then hopefully that becomes the standard over in the East.
I think that's
No, I was
why
gonna
they
say I'm
have
pretty
the.
happy
Sorry,
with how
I'll go for
they're
it.
also, I guess, displaying it, because they're because like above the bars, they're showing how many milliseconds is the I guess delay or whatever. Like in the screenshots they gave, like the example that they gave was like it's 223 like milliseconds between each person, and then they also have like a separate number that says like six frames. And a lot of people who aren't familiar with rollback were afraid that meant like 6 frames of input delay. But people like Max explained that no, that's not what that means. The 6 frames indicates that like that's how much correction you might see at any given point. So like you might see maybe one or two frames of like rollback correction, but at most you will see 6 frames of correction. So I was pretty happy with them actually putting that information out a little bit more separated. Like you have the correction, and you also have the source of the problem. So when you're playing with somebody and you see like 120 and like 4 frames of correction, you're like, oh, okay, I can see why.
Man, it's so fucking great when fighting game developers don't obfuscate
Yeah.
necessary information and just let players be able to fucking see it and experiment with it. Jeez, I really wish they'd do that for their fucking
I did think it
tutorial
was funny
modes.
that some people were a little angry that like you can't. They're not having a connection denial in the beta. So if you see somebody with 200 milliseconds, you can't deny that fight. And people again like Max were like, no, they have to do that. You have to fight people with huge milliseconds so that they can gauge how effective the rollback is. And if it needs more adjustment or something like that, and people were like, "But I want to deny the people that have 150." He's like, "No, we got to do it for the greater good. You got to put up with it."
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really
Sacrifices
important.
need to be made.
It's how we
Yeah.
how we take steps
Yes.
forward. And if I want to see fucking interactable frame data, I guess I'm gonna have to make my own fucking fighting game. Because none of the developers will fucking put it in. Maybe I should just make an hour-long video complaining about it, and somebody will pick it up. Sakurai, make it happen. Smash is supposed to be for casuals,
No,
right?
It's for good boys and girls.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. No, my
My
Sharona.
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 Sure, Nui. All right. Well, let's see. I'm just excited to see what happens for Guilty Gear. They said there should be another character
Yeah.
announcement coming up soon too.
No.
Yeah.
Well, for the season pass, maybe.
No,
Yeah.
it's the last. It's the last character for the main roster.
I thought they
There's
revealed them
one-
all. I
I
thought
think there's
Anji
one
was the
more.
last one.
Not yet. There's one more.
Okay.
All right. Let's go to the next topic or next news.
Come on, Zap.
Do you want me to talk about this? So they're making a fucking
go for
Borderlands
it.
movie.
Oh. Yeah,
Is
this.
it
No.
going to be another taco tangent?
It's fucking. No, I don't know, man. It's
You sure?
fucking
I'll do
Kevin
analysis.
Hart's been casted as Roland.
He's about to blow some steam.
Fucking Kevin Hart has been casted as fucking Roland in Borderlands. Okay, so here's the thing. I don't fucking care about Borderlands. I think it's kind of a mediocre shooty, get some fucking guns, Diablo wannabe fucking shooty franchise, and people only care about it because it's cel-shaded, as if it's the first fucking cel-shaded game. Ooh, no, but if you've never played a fucking game other than a fucking first-person shooter, you don't know what that fucking looks like. So people are like, wow, it's amazing. So what are we doing with a franchise that's known for for a really great art style? We're fucking making it live action. We're throwing fucking Kevin Hart in it to play the big, tall, buff black dude. So we're gonna cast the tiny, skinny, fucking nerdy black dude. Because that fucking makes sense. And they got Kate Blanchett as fucking Lilith? Okay. I don't have anything against Kate Blanchett, but I have a problem against that fucking casting. I don't look at her and think, yeah, that looks like Lilith. I look at her and I'm like, yeah, that's not Lilith. God damn it. Anyways. Dakota Fanning as Tiny Tina, maybe? That'd be a casting that kind of makes some sort of sense. I don't fucking know.
How
I don't
old is
like
Dakota
30
Fanning now?
Like,
What?
Probably.
She's as old as us?
Do you think
no.
No way.
She's 26 years old, so she's a little bit
I
younger
wasn't
than
that far
us.
off?
Okay.
Margot Robbie is the same age as us.
I wish I looked as good as Margot Robbie.
Right? Yeah, so I don't...
Gross man.
I also don't give too much of a shit about Borderlands. It's a shitty game with shit loot people like, because the dank maymays. Look, it's so funny. Lol XD random. That's all I can think about when I think of Borderlands. But I think it's really fucking weird that Eli Roth is directing this movie, and he cast Kevin Hart, the ha-ha funny short black man, as the super serious soldier black man. Like, what
Which
the
leads
fuck?
me to ask.
Was Will Smith
Which
not available?
leads me to ask: has Eli Roth either seen a Kevin Hart movie or played Borderlands? To which the answer to both of those is no, because nobody should watch a Kevin Hart movie except
No.
Jumanji.
And yeah.
What other movies have what's the closest serious movie to
Serious
that Kevin Hart's
movie?
been in?
Fucking
Do
nothing.
you think he's made it?
Or, yeah.
Nothing.
Do you think he's made
Kevin
anything
Hart is-
respectable?
Kevin. Let's see here. Film, television roles. Where's his fucking filmography?
Oh, The Upside, yes.
Oh my god. Oh no. God.
Let's see.
Kevin Hart's entire career was started with fucking scary movie, epic movie, superhero movie, extreme movie. Oh no. What serious movie did you say he was in?
It's
The
a
Upside?
comedy drama, but it's him and freaking Bryan Cranston.
Oh. Two out of the comedy drama.
I don't know.
It's an American comedy.
Comedy doesn't have to be like ha.
Yeah, I know, but like,
I don't know. I've never even heard of it. I like Bryan Cranston.
Yeah.
I don't think it's just because Bryan Cranston is in it doesn't mean it's a good movie. Probably.
yeah.
I don't know, man. What was it called? The Upside. Let's go
Yeah.
look at the reviews for this. What was the reception? Critical response. It has a 42% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Okay.
So like, I don't know. Has Kevin Hart made anything respectable? Probably not.
Shit.
I mean, that's
Drill
not a
Bit
Kevin
Taylor.
Hart movie. That's a movie Kevin Hart is in.
Yeah.
Just like
No, he
Soul
is
Plane
not.
and The 40-Year-Old Virgin, which are good movies that he just happens to be in. And let us not forget the best movie he's been in, Hobbs and Shaw. He's so fucking forgettable in that. I forgot he was in it until I rewatched that movie with Marcus.
Well, he's
He was
not
the guy in
even
the plane,
credited.
right?
So.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That was his character. Okay.
Yeah, when they're fucking having an argument about The Rock fucking Jason Statham's in-movie sister. And Kevin Hart like pops in and he's like, "Listen, I know you two are alpha males with like bunch of testosterone and a tiny plane, but you guys gotta calm down." It's like, I don't know, man. Fucking Kevin Hart.
Well, let's see what happens, right?
This
I
movie's,
guess-
it's probably
and
going to be
I
bad.
guess Borderlands was not supposed to be taken serious,
Yeah,
anyways.
yeah. I mean, okay, but anyways, I'm just saying. We live in a godless world because Kevin Hart has sold out a goddamn fucking football stadium, and fucking Dave Chappelle is performing in a fucking tent, in the fucking backwoods of whatever state he lives in. Like, there is no justice.
I can tell you.
But
I can
Dave
tell you. I
Chappelle
can
doesn't
tell
like
you.
choice, though.
I can tell
Yeah,
you why
'cause
that's
fucking-
happening. Though.
Well, because Dave Chappelle
You're not
doesn't
gonna
sell
like
out
it.
anymore.
Well, I imagine it's also because Kevin Hart doesn't do
Yeah,
anything political.
yeah.
Right?
He's brand safe.
He's
yeah,
a very apolitical.
yeah.
Yeah, he's brand safe. You can put Kevin Hart in your Nike commercial, and he's not going to bring up the fact that you still use sweatshops to manufacture your shoes.
Yeah.
Can't say the same about Chappelle.
God damn it, I respect Chappelle. Anyways, next topic.
Yeah, next
All right,
next topic,
next topic.
please.
Do you want me to do it?
Oh god, yeah, no, okay. Is this the? Oh, yeah. So this isn't probably anything that we probably care about, but I figured it would be a good topic of discussion. So Kamiya, lead
I care
Rockstar
about
at
this.
Platinum Games,
And notorious Twitter
Hideki
blocker.
Kamiya, yeah, and notorious Twitter blocker. If you have questions about that, you should probably ask your mom. Has gone on to say that, hey, you know how we announced Bayonetta, we showed a logo off for Bayonetta 3? Look, guys, I get that you're super crazy about it, but why don't we just kind of walk that back and you can kind of just forget about Bayonetta 3 for a while? And then that way, when we do finally have fucking something to say about it, it'll be a really cool surprise, right? Bang.
I think a lot of people are reading into the forget about Bayonetta 3 line, because that's what every fucking... yeah. And when you read it in context, he's just saying, like, hey, I know we announced it early, we showed you a fucking logo, but, like, maybe chill. Stop asking us for news about it every, like, 3-6 months. Because really, that wasn't a logo. I mean, that wasn't, like, a teaser that says... that was saying, like, this is coming soon. That was, like, a teaser that was, like, we're working on this. Which you know, I think at the time was a novel thought to tell us that, without realizing that gamers are petty and entitled, because we are.
Yeah, I figured this would be like a good time to talk about, because this is a discussion that gets brought up a lot, especially since recently, because fucking Cyberpunk 2077 can't fucking
Crossing
escape.
I know we could have said another minute. Could have said about you winning.
Is about developers showing off a thing that isn't. It's just barely started development. Like, it's not going to be available for like another 4 to 6 years. So I figured, like how do you guys kind of view that scenario? Do you guys get frustrated when like game developers will be like, hey, here's a thing that we talked about, look forward to it?
At least me, when I see that stuff and they don't give an announcement or a release window, I like that. I just like knowing that they're working on something. It just means that, like, they've heard the fans and that they're aware that fans want something, and they're like, listen, we started development on it. But also, granted, not to make myself sound like a fucking, I don't know, insider genius or whatever, because it's not. I feel like it's basic knowledge. Game development takes a goddamn long time. So if you tell me you're working on something, and like all you can show me is a fucking like logo, my assumption is I'm not seeing that shit for at least 5 years. But I think a lot of people see that and they're just like, oh, give us information now, give us more, and it's like, probably the only thing they have at that point is probably a completed design document, and that's probably it. So like so what Kamiya did here doesn't bother me. What people's reactions to what he did is what bugs me. So like, I don't know, I'm fine with it. But then again, I kind of gauge like my, I guess, excitement based on what they show. If they show a logo, I'm like, cool. You probably won't see that for 5 or 6 years, assuming we do see it. If they show a CGI thing, it just tells me, oh, okay, so maybe 3 years or whatever, maybe 3 or 2 years. And when they show gameplay, that's when I'm like, oh, 1 or 2 years we'll probably see that. But I also am not like, yeah, I want information, but I'm not like starving for it. So like, I don't know, I think I'm just a bit of an outlier when it comes to like that aspect of it in the gaming community.
All right. I'm just.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I'm just like, I don't know how long it takes to make a video game and stuff like that, and like, you know, Platinum is not really a, to the extent of my knowledge, Platinum's not really a high budget company compared to the other third party companies. But like They didn't give us a release date. They announced it back in 2017.
Either late 2017 or early
2018
2018.
or 2020.
I can't remember.
Yeah, I can't remember. I want to say it was probably like maybe.
No, it was after the
but I'm not
Switch was
100%
released.
sure.
Because it was part of like that window
Okay.
where like Nintendo still wasn't sure that it was gonna do well. So I think they just announced that they were working on big big stuff to
A
kind of
bunch
help
of
people
shit.
get hyped up. Not realizing that without those announcements, the Switch still would have been successful. Because hindsight's 2020.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, so probably they're just still like working on much more stuff and whatnot. Just have to wait, kind of see what's going to be the next thing for them to reveal Bayonetta 3, whether it be at some kind of press conference or if it's going to be like some kind of like direct or whatever. Do we know if it's only going to be on for Switch?
Probably. I think
Right
Nintendo's
now.
helping fund
Right
this
now?
one.
Okay.
And like here, okay, so
Yeah, just
so,
like
so
with
here's the
Bayonetta
thing
2.
too, right?
So.
Here's some context, I guess, for I think why Kamiya is being super secretive about the title, and I think it's because he has to be. There was recently a podcast with Adam Conover from College Humor, Comedy Central. Adam ruins everything.
Adam.
Where he was talking about how like when Netflix accidentally leaked that they were working on a live-action Zelda series, Nintendo freaked out and canceled that, as well as a claymation project that they were working on. Yeah, for Star
Yeah,
Fox.
the one for Star Fox, right?
So they canceled all that shit as part of the freak out. So I think Kamiya understands how secretive Nintendo is. So I think Kamiya's whole thing is, I'm not even going to give you a fucking snippet of information because we don't want this shit to get canceled. Because we've been working on it for like at least 3 years at this point, and they're like, if I do anything to jeopardize this, like that's a lot of time, a lot of money, and a lot of like probably contracts with Nintendo. So I think that's
Yeah.
part of why, because I think when Scalebound was coming out, I think Kamiya and even Platinum as a whole were like pretty happy to give interviews talking about what they were planning for the game, and that was a thing they were doing with Xbox, right? So there's a pretty distinct difference with how Platinum is handling this with Nintendo as opposed to how they were handling Scalebound with Microsoft.
Damn.
How about
Alright.
you, Knuckle Bomber? You got any commentary?
Not so much. I mean, not like anything that hasn't already been said.
Yeah, so I'm pretty much on the same page as Aldo. Steamboat. When a trailer for something comes out, I just go, "Oh, cool! That's a thing to look forward to." I don't. I'll take it as, oh, when I get information about it, that'll be really neat. And it's nice to know that like all four of us are in harmonious sync with that. I wish that all gamers were, but I know the same people that fucking bitch about I gotta have my video game right now, are the biggest and loudest people. They're also the same people who generally don't give a shit about gameplay and just want to hear about how many K's resolution their game's gonna be in and whether it has ray tracing, and are the same people that probably flipped their fucking shit about No Man's Sky when they were like, you can visit a bajillion planets, and they were like, oh my god, No Man's Sky is going to be the best game ever, rather than it tripping the red flag that said, oh no, that game's probably going to be super fucking horseshit because it's all procedurally generated. These are the same people that fucking scream on Twitter at game developers and send them death threats via email, and publishers get wind of it and they're like, fucking people want the game. If you don't release it now, we're gonna lose money. Release it now. We'll fucking fix it in post when we already have their $60. Well, I personally don't care that studios are like, hey, here's some concept art for a thing that we're thinking about working on. Maybe you'll see it in 10 years. Who knows? I think that stuff's really neat. But for the health and sanity of game developers, maybe don't show off anything until you can show off gameplay, just so that you can actually fucking get your fucking shit done the way that you want it to get done.
Right.
Because gamers fucking suck. We're just trash. Throw us in the
right in the
garbo.
bin.
Some
Right in the bin.
Right in the
Yeah.
bin. Just slam us right there.
Yeah.
Let's just dunk right in the garbage.
Just throw us right next to Oscar in the trash.
Fighting words. I'm out of this one. I'm not a part of this one. Not a part of this one. Marcus, don't shoot your gun.
It's okay, I'm too far away. He can't fucking hit me. What are you gonna do? Fucking drive all the way to my house, bitch? Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. Let me tell you about why Final Fantasy VIII is the greatest Final Fantasy there ever was. Yeah, that's right. That's right. You just stay in your chair. You gonna fucking blow my host down, Big Bad Wolf? I'm gonna
Who are
get
you calling
shot.
Big Bad Wolf?
I'm gonna get shot the next time I show
Who are
up
you
at
calling
the
Big
house.
Bad Wolf? Oh, there he is. There's a boy. There's a man.
For those that don't have the benefit of seeing all those webcam, he had to step away from Steamboat. He had to step away for a moment, and so has replaced himself with a substitute Pikachu doll.
It's not the Grumpy Chew anymore.
Does he have a grumpy Pikachu?
No, it's
just
the same Pikachu. It's just
yeah,
like
he scrunches it
all
up and it
grumpy
looks all
looking.
fat and just like
Yeah. All right. Let's just head over to the next topic then, or should you just hold on for a little bit?
I mean, we.
For taco.
Oh, he back.
What? Oh, hey,
He back.
hey, guess who's back?
Back again.
Do you have
Alright,
anything else to add with my spiel about gamers?
No, I thought we moved on.
No, we are moving on now.
You know who else is moving on? Nintendo's
Alright.
old multiplayer server system that's almost 2 decades old.
Hey,
Yep.
hey, good job, Taco. Yeah, they're fucking moving on from it. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
They're moving on from it. It looks like Monster Hunter Rise is going to be the first official game that they'll be testing out their new multiplayer system. They have switched from the Nex to the Nplun. NPLN. This is a little bit more into like deep gamer shit that I'm not really well versed on. This is where you get into like stuff that data miners know about. But allegedly, Nex was like at least an 18-year-old system, and that apparently the Splatoon version had an unused function to check to see if it was running on Windows 98, which is really fucking neat. I would love to see somebody take on the challenge of getting Splatoon 2 to run on a Windows 98 PC. That would be really funny. It should be noted, however, that the guy who found this stuff out, a Twitter user by the name of Oatmeal Dome, says that the shift in server systems probably isn't going to actually provide any better online, at least not immediately. They'll probably instead look to make a seamless transition, and then the company can at that point start adding new things or make improvements to existing features. So if your Smash Online is real shitty, it's still gonna be shitty. Sorry. Maybe you should back a company that gives a shit about its consumers, which is none of them. So you're
Damn.
fucking out of luck. Maybe side with one that is not as shitty to its consumers as Nintendo is. Because everyone knows I fucking hate Nintendo. They're
Why
on the
do you hate?
list.
Why do you hate Nintendo? Like, tell me that story. Did Mario touch you as a child or what?
Like the last 4 podcasts have like been over this. Like me shitting on them because of the whole Smash situation.
Yeah, but like before,
they're
you hated Nintendo
absolute.
Before that.
No, I didn't hate. Like I didn't feel strongly about Nintendo. Like, I have some issues with their game design because, like, they aren't as bad as, like, Ubisoft or Activision about making the same game every fucking year. But it feels like, since I played Ocarina of Time as a child and Majora's Mask, while Twilight Princess, all the Zelda games and whatnot are different from those games, they're not different enough, if that makes sense. Because it still feels like I'm just playing an iteration of Ocarina of Time. But it's not different. And I don't feel like Nintendo has made as many strides as in gaming as a lot of people give them credit for. It just feels like they just haven't messed shit up as much.
Sorry, I was going to say, I think the strides that they made in gaming kind of stopped at the 64.
Yeah, like, every Mario game I've played still kind of feels like I'm just playing Mario 64. Like, better, for sure, and different, but, like, it doesn't feel like the same jump as going from, like, Super Mario World to Mario 64.
So is that how you feel, like, with Odyssey?
Like...
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that's something that a lot of other people brought up. And then, like, it's in itself, because this is such a vague kind of issue that I have with them, and it's, like, hard to put into words. It's really, like, a feeling thing. I don't hate Nintendo for that. It's more so that I just kind of hate the discussion around Nintendo, which isn't Nintendo's fault. But then on top of the fact of, like, just how shitty they are with their DNCs, and how they, like, absolutely refuse to really, like, archive their works and shit, and how much of an obstacle they've been, and then on top of the whole Smash thing, and so on and so forth, and the fact that the fucking Joy-Con issue, and that they won't put Travis in Smash. I want Travis touchdown in Smash, goddammit.
I think a lot of my recent issues with Nintendo is also that, like one, I think, like, they're pretty anti-consumer. They're coming out with limited releases for no real reason. That's a big thing.
That shit too.
I hate their kind of whole philosophy of, like, we know how to play the game, and that's how we want you to play the game. So, like, Splatoon's weird, like, you can only play these modes or these certain things at these certain times, which I think were, like, multiplayer, like, type things that weren't based on ranking or tournaments or things like that. Like, that was really kind of shitty. Also, I hate, like you said, preservation. So, like, their unwillingness to, like, not even remaster, just fucking port, like, classic games to newer consoles. Which sure, they had the Virtual Console, which was, like, a good step forward. But also, like, yeah, so, like, most of the N64 generation just didn't a lot of it didn't make it to the Virtual Console. Not even to mention the GameCube generation, which has, like, a lot of really great games. People have been clamoring for a new F-Zero, and, like, they won't make a new one because they've said, we made F-Zero, people should just play that one. But you can't fucking buy it, and they won't re-release it. So, like, their whole idea is that they won't make a sequel unless that sequel has something new to offer. Which is why they won't make an F-Zero sequel, because they can't figure out something new to offer. Okay, fine. So fucking just throw it on the fucking Switch. Charge us $20. People will pay for it. So, like, that's a lot of my issues with Nintendo. Same as you. I didn't hate Nintendo, but, like, the last generation or two have made it real obvious how kind of scummy they are as a business. Not as game developers. I mean, yes, a little bit as I think they're a little stuck up as game developers. But as a business, it's become a lot more apparent that, like, just because we love them because they were part of our childhood, they don't necessarily love us.
Like, I get why people still like Nintendo, and I don't want to invalidate their feelings. But Nintendo stands kind of drive me up the fucking wall. Not gonna lie. Like, obviously every console has its stands, but I feel like Nintendo stands are, like, the worst of the bunch. Like, I don't fucking... I don't see anybody out here fucking defending Sony after they got fucking hacked to shit. You know? Like, I mean, yeah. Sony, please make
Yeah,
a
right.
Legend of Dragoon remake.
I'm all on board with that. That's all I want.
It's baffling that we didn't get Dart on the base roster of PlayStation All-Stars. I know he was DLC, but like Sony owns Legend of Dragoon. Yeah, he was planned to DLC before they shut it all down.
I don't know. As much as I think it's easy to say that Kyle loves or hates Nintendo, and I think you could say the same thing about me. I don't think it's unreasonable to both love and criticize a company. So I feel like if you actually truly like love a company and like their legacy and stuff like that, that's when you should be the most critical. If you just accept everything that they do, you don't love a company, you stand that company. Anyways. I'm just saying, if you can't find anything to criticize about Nintendo, you're probably fucking blind.
I'll talk about Nintendo, like, freaking, like, not archiving stuff, and I'm just here looking at, like, Jet Set Radio Future.
Hey, Jeff, wouldn't it be great if you could get fucking Golden Sun on your Switch? Wouldn't that be fucking neat?
Yeah, man.
It'd be
Yeah,
better
that's
if I
not
Jet Set
Nintendo,
fucking
though.
Radio Future.
That's not Nintendo,
I know.
that's Sega.
That's why
And Sega's released it on the PC. You can
Jet
buy
Set Radio
it
Future? No, it hasn't. Jet Set Radio 1, yes, not Future.
Oh. Well, get at Sega about that.
Or just start porting it yourself, and eventually they'll pay you for it.
I have 2 freaking Jet Set Radios, and it's also the fact that Jet Set Radio doesn't sell well. Like, I follow Hideki Naganuma,
Yeah, it
and
does.
he talks about like Sega not wanting to make a Jet Set Radio or a new Jet Set Radio game and whatnot.
It does have some
It's
issues.
the
It
soundtrack.
hasn't quite
It's
aged
apparently,
well.
what I'm reading is the soundtrack
But,
with
yeah.
Jet Set is kind of what's
Yeah,
keeping
it's
it
this-
back.
I'd probably say yes. I'd probably say yes and no because most of the songs
Yeah,
are from
most
Hideki
of the
Naganuma,
songs, but if you want
and
the
a
whole
couple
thing
of
back.
But the
couple
ones
people-
that aren't. Yeah.
It features bands such as Guitar Vader, the Beastie Boys Ad Rock side project, the Latch Brothers, which also
Ooh,
has
yeah.
Mike D of the Beastie Boys, and the Prunes. It has a bunch of like American licensed bands, so that's probably where you actually legitimately have issues with.
Well, if they could release if they could release the original Jet Set Radio, then it would probably go through a bunch of loops, but they could probably do it here. For
I guess,
future.
but I mean, this Jet Set Radio,
But-
the original one, have as many like American licensed bands.
To the extent of my knowledge, no. But that's the extent of my knowledge.
Yeah,
Like-
so it has additional tracks by Richard Jocks, David Soul, Toronto, and BB Rights. So that's hardly anything. I mean, not to say that they're not good artists in their own right. I'm just saying it doesn't seem like the licensing for the music is as complicated for that. And I don't know. Then it seems that when Sega wants to like port something with the lowest minimal effort, it also means that they don't really want to go in and take music tracks out because that would require work. And if they're going to go in there, they might as well do something else. And I think it's just a weird balancing act with Sega.
Yeah.
Anyway,
That's all we need.
speaking of franchises that have been, so to speak, stranded on the moon, don't worry, we're going to rescue them in Final Fantasy XIV because we're going to the moon, boys!
And Waka, baby!
Yeah. You want to take this one over? You want to take over this one, hero?
So, as of this recording, yesterday, they did Square Enix did a Final Fantasy XIV announcer showcase where they showed the teaser trailer for the next expansion and brought a little bit more details in regards to what's going to be coming. So the next expansion is called Endwalker. like what Kyle said, we're going to the fucking moon. Feeling a lot of, like I was talking to Aldo, I was feeling talking about like a lot of Final Fantasy IV stuff about it. Like there's gonna be a lot of, I feel like there's gonna be a lot of Final Fantasy IV representation. Like kind of like I was going through like the Final Fantasy 14 Reddit and some of that, and somebody brought up like how the fact they're going to the moon is kind of with like four, like it's like a four base because in Shadowbringers you start off as a Dark Knight and then now the main character in the base avatar in Shadowbringers was a Dark Knight. Now in Endwalker it's a Paladin, and like making like similarities to Cecil from Final Fantasy IV, how he started off as a Dark Knight and he became a Paladin.
That is a very good check.
Yeah, right. We get it like more Final Fantasy IV stuff. We're getting a fucking eight mount,
player mount,
mount, an eight player mount under like.
I just want to be a
what's up,
little
Aldo?
cynical here for a moment. Nothing against the game.
Go for it.
Again,
When are you
entirely on the fandom. I kind of hate that the fandom thinks they're so fucking clever, because they're like, we're going to the moon. Oh, that means Final Fantasy IV stuff. Oh, we gotta get this character as a minion. We gotta get this thing as a thing. And it's like, do you think you're so fucking clever because you made a connection to like the only other Final Fantasy game that goes to the moon? Like, do you think you're special? Like, you're...
Well, eight.
Yes,
eight,
I am
go to
a
the
very
moon?
smart and clever boy, Aldo.
Did Final Fantasy VIII go to the moon?
It did have the Lunatic Pandora, which did feature creating a space bridgeway to the moon to fucking rain down monsters. It was a fucking weapon of mass destruction being developed by one of the countries in Final Fantasy VIII. So,
I'm just saying.
in a way,
I'm
yeah.
just saying.
And look, there was shit raining down on fucking. There was shit raining down during that trailer and stuff. So
I'm just
there's also
fucking
some
saying
moon
you're
shit.
not that clever for figuring out like there's going to be Final Fantasy IV Easter eggs and things because they're going to the moon. Anyways, that's my pet peeve with Final Fantasy XIV fandom, which is really one of the few things they've ever done to piss me off. Because aside from that, the Final Fantasy XIV fandom is a pretty good fandom. I like them. But you're not that clever. Anyways. Keep going, be excited. Be excited.
Go.
Yeah. Tell us what things they announced for this for 6.0.
Well, so one of the biggest things a lot of the fan base brought up in regards to past expansions was that of.
Keep going. Keep going. Yeah, keep going.
You okay there?
Go on.
Was the lack of a new healer? At the time of this recording, we're still on Shadowbringers, and there's only 3 healers: your White Mage, your Scholar, and your Astro. So they announced a new healer class, which is Sage. Now, when I saw Sage, I was excited because I'm like, "Oh fuck yeah, let's go!" You have essentially funnels. You are Gundam.
You are a Gundam, yeah.
You are Gundam. You have fangs. Yeah, it was a really nice introduction to the class. They showed how the class is going to work in like a small tidbit trailer. It's going to be a what they call as a barrier healer, which is similar to the Scholar, which I assume that you're going to be doing a lot of buffs around the party and whatnot. Like it's going to be mostly like party buffs and stuff similar, not like a White Mage, which is like more powerful heals than like buffs that will make increase your health and whatnot. They also said that they're going to be doing a little bit of rework on Astro to make it a base healer as well. So you have like your base healers and your barrier healers, which your scholars and sages will be your barriers, while your Astro and White Mage will be the base healers. And they said they're going to try to make a way to kind of like show what's up, show how it works and whatnot. Kind of like how I'd probably say it'd be more like how the difference between physical DPS and range DPSs, like for their stuff. There's like they got they got two new areas that we'll be going to. One of them being Thanavir, Thavnir, which is very tropical. Kind of like me and Taco were talking about, like how we initially thought it was very like Mesoamerican looking, and then we're like it's more so Indian.
So I said that, but then they showed
yeah.
no, well, not the beach tribes.
The beach
it was
tribes.
the I think it was one of the raid areas, and that's when I was like, no,
Yeah.
it's way meso. It's way meso. Or the beast tribe that they showed off does look very like. I don't know if that was on purpose.
They're
Yeah,
blue. They're
it can't.
blue
It
elephant
can't be a
people.
coincidence.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah. They also have very
yeah, exactly.
Indian-looking garb too. The blue elephant people. Yeah, it's supposed to be in Thavnir, there's a smaller town that's about roughly the same size as Yulmore. And that's Radzathan.
So that'll probably be like that could potentially be where you get your end gear stuff when you beat the game, like where you spend all your tomestones and whatnot. We're also gonna be going to Garlemald.
That's what I'm excited for.
Yeah!
Like, and like me and Taco again, we're talking about Garlemald and stuff like how it's like a piece of shit. And I'm like, I told him like there's gonna be probably like a place they're gonna call Midgard or whatever. But that's before we got into more of the detail about like shitty Garlemald and new Garlemald.
we're going to Jersey, boys.
I want my judge armor. I want to look like a judge from Final Fantasy 12. God damn it! I've been waiting since the first time I saw Julia Van Sevos and Gaius Van Belsar.
Well, if the sorry.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy 12.
Ask him about it sometime.
Yep, it was 12.
Which do you hate more, Knuckle Bomber? 12 or 8?
Why are you so flabbergasted about him hating 12 more than 8?
Because like I get why people don't like 8. It has some legitimate problems. People don't like. Oh, that's right. We talked about this. You hate 12 because of fucking Van and Pinello.
That's not the only reason.
Which. Oh. Anyway, I love 12.
Alright.
Don't believe Ondor's lies.
I'm Captain Bosch von Rosenberg of Mask.
Don't believe Knuckle Bomber's lies.
We also have, like we talked about the new Beast Tribe. Anima is going to be a possible trial.
Which will give us more.
That's pretty neat.
More to the anima weapons. Get another tier of that.
No.
We got that new residential district in
As a man,
Ishgard.
I
Finally,
too also fear enemas.
fuck it, dude.
But yeah, we'll be having a new, like what Knuckle said, we'll be having a new a residential area in Ishgard. So those guys who helped out with Ishgard restoration, thumbs up to you guys.
So we won't quite have it at launch for 6.0. We'll be able to wander around the area and whatnot, but you won't actually be able to purchase.
Oh yeah, I
property
also
until
so
6.0.
talking about
Yep.
6.1, real quick tangent, or side
Right.
thing, I guess, little conversation guiding. Is that they did announce that the current Heidelin story arc is going to end in 6.0. I'm not going to bring up the conversation that Hiro and I had previously because I've beaten that horse into the fucking ground and further
Yes.
yesterday, both in person and in chats. But they did announce that 6.0 that typically the O expansion doesn't always finish whatever current arc they're doing. It usually bleeds over into the point 1, point 2, whatever, right? In this one, they made a point of saying that the arc, or that the story of Heidelin and whatever, is going to Zodiac. Yeah, that's going to end in 6.0. It's over. They're going to wrap that up. and instead of like continuing it or actually wrapping it up into further expansions or patches or updates, they're going to start the groundwork or even the whole new story in 6.1. So once we get to 6.1, which is when they'll open up the new residential area for purchase, that's also when they're going to start the new story, which is at least for me that's kind of exciting. It's a little exciting. I would be more excited if I actually played through most of the story, which that's probably what I'm going to do this week. We'll talk about that when we get to our weeks, but yeah.
So like with obviously a new expansion, our level cap increases to 90. Sage starts off at level 70 also. The scariest thing for me, and maybe you too, Knuckle Bomber, is with the level cap increase. Obviously, we get new skills, but we lose a few also. It's so I'm a little kind of nervous in regards to what skills I'll lose as for my classes and whatnot. I kind of hope they rework a little bit of the scholar because, obviously, I'm gonna go Sage. I know, but like, as a scholar, you have the choice of two fairies, but they practically do the same thing. So there's really no reason to use one over the other. So I hope that they either remove one of the fairies or they make one of them differently enough. To the extent of my knowledge, I'm not deep as playing scholar as much as I used to be because I now tank more. So feel free to anybody that correct me on that. In regards to overall levels and whatnot for our equipment as well, we will no longer be having belts as equipment, which is kind of a saving grace, a nice save for tomestones for the people who grind it to just kind of boost up their level. Rings, you guys are safe
For now.
For now, yeah. All because they make a visual difference.
I appreciate them being actually super transparent about that. I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I am totally okay with belts getting
Same.
kaputzed.
Same here. So now with that, we'll have an extra 15 slots for our weapons, an extra 15 slot for our rings, and five slots reserved for later for whatever purpose they decide to use it for. New dungeons, obviously. We're gonna have a new high difficulty raid, Pandemonium, which
Looks like it might be about Laha Breha. I thought he was dead, but okay.
Yeah.
Laha bread.
Laha, more like Laha dead, am I right?
Yeah, which I actually like the during the live action showcase. They're like, who is that? La and they're like Lahi.
Lahi ho!
Do we get more stuff in the gold
Lucky.
saucer?
Yeah. One of the things that they talked about. Oh yeah, they're also adding Estinian to the trust system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he took a shower.
Yeah! My bro Estinian. Now if only they would permanently kill off Alice and Alphanon. Those stupid little fucking shits. Oh god, I fucking hate them so much.
Alphanauts a new class.
No, they're trash.
Alphanauts a new class.
I would much rather sacrifice them to the blood god to get Papalimo back.
Oh yeah, so one of the things they announced, which I haven't looked at the Reddits or the Twitters or the YouTubes about this yet, but I'm assuming it'll be a point of controversy and worry, is that they're also scaling back the numbers, because they talked about a lot.
Yeah.
They talked about how many problems the scope of the numbers is creating, and part of that includes like how much damage that people have to deal, how much HP, how much experience. They're scaling that from like levels, what they say, levels 50 to 80. They're scaling that down to like by 80%. It's a pretty big scale, and part of that is to help future-proof the game. But also because some of the bugs it's already causing, and it doesn't sound like they're pretty widespread, but it does sound like it's hitting like I guess a significant minor portion of the community. In that a lot of problems like enmity, damage dealt, a lot of those calculations are causing the numbers to overflow and like reset to zero. So like I guess people's enmity, there's a possibility that your enmity can reset to zero if you get it to a high enough number. And on top of that, I guess visually putting those numbers on the screen is also, I don't know how much I buy this one, but like whatever. Is that it's also affecting the rendering of the game. Which, granted, that's a pretty fucking visually spectacular game. There's a lot of effects happening during like big like raids and dungeons and shit like that. So
I have T-posed a few times getting into like really big duties and whatnot.
Like I think it's mostly like those the fucking high end fates where you fucking fight Eden and you've got like 80 players.
Yeah, the high end fates with like the super, like essentially what
exactly.
Super bosses
So like that's a portion of it. They're talking about how for the most part this should be good.
It's they said that it's gonna be a big problem. It might be a problem for those for undersized parties. The parties that go back and do like quick boss rushes to get like mounts and whatnot. Like,
well, they said
have you ever done a? Sorry.
Yeah, well, they did say that they were keeping that kind of stuff in mind for undersized parties, and that they would actually be kind of helping out with that situation. Really, the whole downscaling thing is that they just kind of want to
future-proof.
Lower the scale of everything, but it doesn't necessarily mean that players are getting weaker. Honestly, I'm fine with
it's also
this.
not the first time we've seen this. WoW also had to do this after a while. They call it stat squishing in the WoW community. So that's essentially what's happening here.
They've also been talking about this for a while. So
yeah,
in the public,
I like this because kind of going back to the conversation that won't be mentioned. This is part of their commitment to keep this game going for. And they talked about, the possibility of this game continuing for yet another 10 years. And maybe even more so. Because he did say that, like, they're doing this as a solution. It's not, like, a permanent fix, because chances are in 10 years, after, 5 more expansions, the numbers could be that high again. Which is probably a real possibility. I think even, like... Not that they're like a real MMO, but like even Destiny had to deal with this issue, and they've only been around for like 5 years. Where like too many end game and new expansion weapons are like too fucking powerful, and so there's like it creates like a disbalance, right, between like especially like newer players to older players. So I don't know. I appreciate that they talked about this pretty frankly and explained it. At least for somebody like me that is super interested in the development and kind of behind the scenes stuff, I really appreciate that they went into like quite a bit of detail about what that entails, instead of just saying, "Hey, we're gonna scale the numbers back, deal with it." But then again, this is why Yoshi P is like one of my favorite directors in the games industry.
To walk back something I said, Hero was right. Because of the number squishing, they actually did say that it is going to be more difficult for people playing as undersized parties. However, they are aware of that, and they are coming up with solutions to address that, but they're still kind of trying to find something out. But it's something for
I hope that by the time they do their May announcement or FanFest or whatever, I'm hoping they'll have some sort of solution figured out by then. And they'll probably talk about it, assuming that they do.
Yeah. We are also going to get a second class, a mystery class.
Yeah, it'll be a physical DPS.
A physical DPS. Which will be revealed in May FanFest. We're essentially having a nice island sanctuary That's what it's called.
Oh
Where
yeah,
you
we're,
can
we're
kinda
getting
be free.
Animal Crossing.
Yeah, essentially
Yeah.
Animal Crossing, which is good, I
I
guess, for the
just
people who
can I
want
give a
it.
quick story about why I'm super excited about farming.
Yeah, go for it.
So, so when I was I'm assuming nobody here has played Disney Infinity. Uh, so
I
when I
think
was
you're the
playing,
only one.
No.
yeah. So when I was testing Disney Infinity
Yeah.
for Disney way back, like 6, 7 years ago at this point, we were playing, we were testing that game for like months until until somebody asked us if we had been testing the farming aspect of the game, and we were like, "What?" We fucking went nuts. Like we had people fucking optimizing like how to fucking like reap their crops, how to like min max their fucking little minions to help like raise fucking vegetables and shit. Like we went from not knowing anything about this to exploiting the fuck out of it in like a week and a half. Uh, so like I kind of like when non-farming games bring in some sort of farming element because it reminds me of that. So like when they announced a fucking island sanctuary and they're like, yeah, you can probably have your minions like running around and maybe like helping you, and you can do crops, you can hang out with animals. I was like, yeah. I got way too excited for that.
I do like the idea of like maybe it just being an area where all of your collected minions can hang out all at once along with your mounts. Because I feel bad that I only ever use Midgard Somar as my fucking.
I
minion,
am
'cause it's
a
fucking cool.
I'm a basic bitch, and I like having the cursor finger follow me.
I
Also,
like
also
the- I like
Gilgamesh.
the
I
ones
like
that
having
can climb on you.
which
The
one?
little red pan. I like the ones that you can
What?
interact with, like the Puff of Darkness. So like you can do
Like the red
like slash beckon, and then it'll like for Lullafell it'll just land on my head. And then same thing with like the red panda. You get to see him climb up you, but it's funny. Like if you're dancing and you do a little spin, he stays in the same spot, so it just looks like you're like flipping around, and he stays right there looking forward. So
I
any
need
of the
to
ones that you can interact with, I like.
I used the carbuncles obviously because it was one of my favorite. It was a summoner. Arcanist was my favorite class, and I bought the stuffed carbuncles from the Square store, and they came with codes so I could have the carbuncles as minions.
Yeah, I just use Midgard Somar because he breathes fire, and I use the Fenrir as my mount. I don't use any of the other minions or mounts that I have. Fuck you, a flying motorcycle's cool. Shut up.
Last few things in regards to Endwalker. We are getting obviously new gear and crafting recipes. And then probably one of the bigger things is that there's going to be a data center travel system, which is kind of like it's going to be a bigger version of obviously the
And I
world
think they
travel
mentioned
system.
a little bit more limited as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because they don't want to fuck with the economy. Like it's because like whenever you like try to find a piece of equipment in ours, because we all play on Excalibur. I believe we all
Yeah.
play on Excalibur, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although,
Yep.
nope. Okay. So if I remember right, from what Knuckle Bomber tells me, is that we are we're very strict, we're very like hardcore server in regards to overall game.
Keep going, buddy.
And we have a lot of stuff in our marketplace is pretty pricey. So we go to other servers obviously to buy other shit. And the Devil Trader Center, they just don't want to make one of the biggest things people were afraid of is just the overall economy, how that affect other players and whatnot. So with limits, I think that most of the economies will be fine. It'll be great to play with other people who are in different servers that you can't reach to normally. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
I'm a little excited. Okay,
Now-
I'm excited for the fucking data transfer thing, the data center transfer. In concept, I don't know anybody in another data center, so like I'm not probably ever gonna use it. But But when I was living in good old Riot State Portland, um, I
Wait, I thought that city got
yeah,
burned down.
no, I yeah, I
Yeah, it was
made
right there in
I
Final
made
Fantasy
friends out there, and I convinced a bunch of them to like get on Fantasy 14, and they all made their characters on a different server, like a more role playing focused server. Probably I can't remember.
Balmung?
No, it was Hyperion. It was Hyperion. They were.
Ooh.
Um,
Okay.
So
Oh.
I don't. I like the idea that like we could just like visit other worlds or whatever. Because like I was just hanging out with them. I just took my character over there. So I think it's cool. I think it's cool, especially for people who like have friends in like the Japanese servers and stuff like that. So that'll be cool for them. I'm probably never gonna use it, but like I could be. Fuck you. I can be excited for something I'm never gonna use.
Yeah. The rest of the news will be like we've talked about. Will be revealed in May Fan Fest, and with the introduction of a second healer, and hopefully a little bit more tidbits in regards to the trials and raids that we'll be facing. Because in regards to every expansion, we usually have like three trials usually from the get-go, and possibly, I believe, one raid near the end of the first, near the end of the beginning part of the expansion. So, yeah, I'm honestly excited. One of my things that I hope that's it feels more like a pipe dream as we get closer is just the announcement of Bunny Boys and like
Fur mommies?
for mommies and bunny boys.
All
Like
I
we
really
can
care
only
about
hope.
is are they gonna bring back the Regalia event? Because I need me that fucking car. The lunar whale, which okay. So you kind of mentioned the fan fest, or we've all kind of mentioned the fan fest at this point a little bit. They're doing that for
Yeah.
free, which is actually pretty fucking rad. So like they'll be live streaming all the concerts and all the panels and shit like that, totally for free, which is really cool. But they did say, like, if you do want to pay to support the game, as if we don't already support it enough, paying $15-13 a month. Yeah.
I pay 17.
That they're gonna put up a couple things for sale during it, and one of them we've mentioned was the 8-person mount, which is the lunar whale from Final Fantasy IV. That everybody thinks they're so fucking special for predicting that. But I just want me that fucking car. But
We're also getting the minions of Rydia
Edge, yeah.
Rose, I believe,
yeah,
and
Kyle's
Edge.
favorite character, I presume.
Yep.
Yep.
From 4?
Yeah. So, okay. So is anybody
I wonder why.
planning on
there's
buying that
sorry.
fucking lunar whale? I
might,
probably
depending on the
will.
price.
Yeah, it honestly just depends on the price.
What I'm looking forward to more is see what the collector's edition holds. Because with every collector's edition, they usually give out a minion, a mount, and a piece of glamour for one of the new classes.
Yeah, like when we got the fucking
So-
revolver glamour for the gunbreaker.
Yeah, we got the roll glamour. I have that's actually
Same.
glamour to
Same.
my gunblade.
Because
Yeah.
that's Final Fantasy game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually,
I
have
think
all
most
of
people
Paul's
do.
attire in my. Most people do.
Yeah.
It was a
Because it's one of the fucking...
The veteran rewards.
Yeah.
veteran rewards.
Like I also
Yeah,
have
veteran
the
rewards.
Zidane outfit, or Zidane, however the hell the
The
cloud
Advent
outfit.
Children.
Cloud outfit.
Sea Loud outfit, the Furion outfit. I want to get the Warrior Light attire.
What is that one?
I
How'd you
think
get
I-
that one?
I only
That
have the
one
helmet.
was like an early.
I
It
don't
was like
remember.
an early one. I think they stopped it after a little bit.
Mm.
The
Yeah,
Wally stuff.
but like one thing that I do miss was like in
Oh, that's
1.0, like I believe if you got the collector's edition of 1.0, you were able to get like the Onion Knight helmet.
Oh, yeah.
and it would give you like experience points, and you would get haste. Like your movement speed was a little bit better.
That's cool.
All right. Well, the only thing we can do now in regards to uh, more Final Fantasy news is just wait. They showed a little. By the way, side note, they did also a fuck. What's it called? Shit. Essentially another a little mini showcase, like newsletter, Final Fantasy newsletter, right? They showed a little bit of what to expect for 5.5. There's going to be the last part of the Yoroha Dark Apocalypse, which a lot of people are thinking that it's something in regards to Dragon
I mean,
Guard.
it is. I mean, yeah.
Because there's giants.
What's it called?
There's giant
Nier
spear.
is a sequel to. In the loosest terms, it's a sequel to
Dragon
Guard. I was.
Yeah.
I think I told Hero this after we were watching, but like when the fucking president of Square Enix showed up, because I fucking recognize his voice. That's weird to me now, because I don't think I've seen that dude more than like 4 or 5 times on the internet. But I know his fucking voice. So like when he started talking, I was like, "Is that motherfucker going to announce that he's the fucking final boss for the Alliance raid?" Like, because they were talking about how the Alliance raid for 6.0 is going to be a completely original. It's not going to be a crossover raid or anything. It's a completely Final Fantasy 14 original thing. I know when he popped up, I was like, "Are you gonna fucking reveal that? Are we gonna have to hit you with like 48 goddamn people?" Oh yeah, should we talk about what the president came out to talk about?
Oh yeah, Final Fantasy. Well, after I talk
Go
about after I say one more thing about 5.5. So 5.5 also is going to be. They showed the last trial for Shadowbringers. We will. It looks like we will be fighting Diamond Weapon as the final trial. Diamond Weapon is, I believe, from Final Fantasy 7, right? Obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. And so going what Taco was talking about in regards to what the president came in and discussed out loud in front of freaking Yoshi P and stuff. Final Fantasy 14 is going to be having their open beta test for the PS5. What are the dates? All those?
It's shit. I think they said it was like April 13th. They said the beta was gonna be fuck, I'm trying to remember. I think they said it was gonna be April 13th, which is I think supposed to be the same day that that 5.5 drops. That's also when they're starting the PlayStation 5 beta. They also announced that anybody who has a PS4 license can just get the PS5 version, so you won't have to rebuy your shit. Which I think we had to do for PS when they transferred from PS3 to PS4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They give you like a free upgrade.
Okay. So yeah, so that's what's going on. The PS5 update. I don't know that it's that substantial of an upgrade. Like it is an upgrade. Like I'm not trying to say it's not. But I mean, most of what we saw was kind of 4K textures and updates. Obviously, faster loading times with like the SSD that's in the PS5. And I want to say there was like another update to it, and I can't remember. I'm trying to find like the screenshots of what that was. But yeah, so the open beta for that begins April 13th for anybody who has. Oh yeah, an improved frame rate. So I mean, they're pretty much just getting it more on par with like the PC, like I guess ultra settings. Assuming you were running Final Fantasy 14 on an SSD with ultra settings, I'm guessing it'll be closer to that. So like not like anything like groundbreaking, but like I mean, I also wouldn't expect that because they're trying to keep everything, pretty on par, so that you're not having a totally different experience on one system from the other. But yeah, did I miss anything? I think that was it, right?
Yeah.
That was it. And just also a dope piece of artwork by freaking the artist himself for Final Fantasy, just the whole Final Fantasy series.
Oh yeah, Yoshitaka
Amano artwork. So yeah, everyone look forward to whenever if we do the podcast, it'll be after the fan fest. Yeah. Stormblood was good, or not Stormblood. Yeah, Stormblood was good, but Shadowbringers was freaking awesome. And I will just get to wait to see what else, what Eldritch horrors await for us in the moon.
I don't know. I feel like there's not going to be a
Could just
whole
be
lot
made out
on
of
it.
cheese. Lots of cheese.
There's a hole in the moon also.
Oh my god! All right, can we move on? What's next? That's the last bit of news, right? Hey, Knuckle Bobber,
Yeah.
what's your plans for like the next week?
For the next week, I guess next week's, 2 weeks we'll have this. Probably try to record something. Try to finish Final Fantasy VII, and maybe get some progress done on 14. As I'm like a patch or two behind now at this point. Fill out more job applications. Get Nancy.
Our guy from another world, Iskal, what's your plans for the next week?
I'm gonna hopefully have a job after completing interviews. I am continue the meme war with Marcus.
Oh god, we had a.
It's not deleting it. So Marcus deleted it. We've just been going back and forth changing the name.
Okay, but it also got deleted because we had a cursed picture of Knuckle Bomber out there.
Oh, there was?
Yeah, Punished Bomber.
Punished Bomber. Read more One Piece. Probably start work on my VTuber guy. All I've done so far is just get some assets that I want. Finding out how to do a demon hand is going to be some real interesting work that I'm going to have to do. As well as
If
how to do a
you
feather
want
collar.
it to be more than just a texture, it's probably going to require you to jump into Blender.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I guess I'm just gonna have to get as close as I can in my VTuber guy, and then export.
I mean, also okay, but also like,
I don't know, because I did see somebody who had a VTuber.
well, what
with
I was gonna say is
prosthetic
also, I
arm.
mean, I don't know. Typically with VTubers, you don't really see much below like their shoulders, so I don't know how important that is to you. I spent a stupid amount of time on shoes
Well,
that nobody will ever see, so I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, that's half the fun. Okay. Hold on a second. Oh, darn it. Oh, wait. Nope. That picture is not lost forever. As far as that goes, I don't... I'll probably start watching some more-ish anime. Probably watch that Speed Racer thing that people were talking about.
A Speed Racer thing.
Yeah. I'll also probably start typing up the script for my Avatar video.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I was just waiting for like the next action to happen. So I think for my next saving that. Okay. It's, new contact photo for my phone. So I think what I got in store is I kind of alluded to this a little earlier. So my history with Final Fantasy XIV has been a little tumultuous. I played a lot of Realm Reborn. I didn't play a whole lot of Heavensward. I played a little bit of Stormblood. I haven't played any of Shadowbringers. So because of that, in order to catch up, I was one of the fools that paid to catch up. So I have missed out on a lot of story. I also don't know how to play my classes, my jobs. So in order to kind of get ready for 6.0, over this next 2 week period, I'm gonna watch all of the fucking cutscenes. So I started an alternate character like a while back. I made a Lalafell. His name is Popote de Papel, which just means paper straw in Spanish. So I made him to like play through the story, but I kind of just want to get the story. So I'm not gonna abandon him. I'm gonna abandon him for now, but I'm going to do that. I'm gonna go through all the cutscenes, and then as we approach 5.5 or 6.0, I'm probably gonna go back and do a lot of the side quests that I'm missing, a lot of the dungeons, a lot of just kind of playing the game with my main character, and hopefully catching up with Shadowbringers and stuff. Because mostly because like I've read a lot about the story a lot in like a lot of wikis and shit because I've missed out on it, like experiencing it firsthand. So that's my plan, is to like kind of get caught up. So that'll be my first steps, is to watch all the cutscenes. So I'll be sitting in my little inn room watching a lot of cutscenes for like the next 2 weeks. Also think I want to start watching some seasonal anime again. I haven't been watching a whole lot. And I don't know, maybe start writing a little bit more. I don't know what, but I'll start writing again. So. Oh yeah, and probably doing a couple, maybe 1 or 2 streams with my VTuber now that that's all pretty much set up. So yeah.
I would really like to hop back into Final Fantasy 14 as well, because I'm 4 or 5 patches behind. I just finished Shadowbringers and that's it. So I would like to get caught up on all of that too. Get a healer to level 80 at least, since I have Samurai and Dark Knight at 80 already.
I want to play a healer, but I'm afraid I'm going to crack under the pressure of making sure people are alive. So.
Well, Aldo,
Uh,
you're forgetting something. That handy dandy stream deck that you have in front of you, you can also use it with Final Fantasy, and I've already figured out how.
I know how. I have a whole fucking keyboard thing for Final Fantasy 14.
yeah. I would just say fucking go for it. I got really nervous about tanking. I had a lot of tank anxiety. And basically what I did is I tanked for like a few of the lower level shit intentionally, let people know. And then when I was doing the Shadowbringer stuff, because that's what I was leveling through at the time, because I'd already hit 80 on my Samurai like halfway into Stormbringer. What I would do is I would just, like, every time I went to a new raid, I would just bring up a fucking YouTube video that explained the raid and what a tank was supposed to do, and I would watch that before queuing for it, and then if the queue didn't pop instantly, I would rewatch it again, and that like helped it. I imagine that there's videos for healers too, so
yeah, I don't know. All I know is last time I was in a dungeon, I got fucking kicked out. So, but that's also because no DPS. Black.
wow.
I was a black mage, and I got kicked out. So that kind of left a bit of a sour taste, even though like in like I don't know 5 years of playing that game, I've never been kicked out except for that one fucking time. So, you know, I don't know. Now I used to not have anxiety, but now I do.
That's fair.
Yeah, I I'm still anxious about being a healer, even with that stratagem in mind, because it's not like World of Warcraft where you're just like, all right, I'm a healer. That's all I do. Don't ask me for shit. I just heal. But in 14, they're like, nah, we gotta kill this thing.
Like,
you gotta deal
I
damage.
guess you can still go
Fucking
in like
come
with the
on.
trust system,
Oh yeah.
and then have that as
Yeah, but-
your
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That too.
because like the NPCs aren't gonna bitch at you.
Hopefully.
Yeah, if you fuck up, then you just fuck up the dungeon.
And you get the added benefit of not having to have fucking bitch ass fuckboy alpha.
Yeah, I think
mod
for the
requirement.
most part, I don't know. I think I'm gonna keep my experience with like that stuff to like our friends. So it'll be that. I don't know. Final Fantasy has a really good community. I think I just got stuck with some motherfucker once, and yeah, exactly.
There's some sour
No,
apples.
no communities.
Like,
what?
Perfect.
There's some sour apples. Like I only got kicked once, and that was because I wasn't keeping up my grease lightning as a monk.
Yeah.
Whatever. What class are you planning? You know,
Yeah.
we're prolonging
We're
the
at 3
podcast.
hours, buddy.
Yeah. Yep.
Unless, like, I don't know if that new class could be anything that I would want to play. 'cause they
It looks
already
really
have
fun to
Samurai.
me.
And
I'm
Dark
not gonna
Knight.
lie, that I was like, shit.
Yeah.
Well, unless they
Yeah, well, that's I
unless the
think that's
DPS
what
class
Kyle was referring to.
is why people.
Yeah.
they'll
Yeah.
fit
Do you think
the
it'll be
new
a new
the new
class?
physical DPS class.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know.
it's a new job.
Well, I don't know,
Yeah.
like
That's
an
what he
all
said.
new,
It's gonna be
like
new
a
physical
whole new
DPS.
job.
Oh, a new job. No. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah.
I get the two mixed up. It's a new
Um,
job.
We'll see.
Yeah.
I guess.
I don't think it'll be a class. It'll be a job. I think they've pretty heavily stated that they're not going to do any more classes.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm interested to see what it is. I'm kind of curious to see what the speculation for it will be. So I don't know.
A lot of people want Necromancer.
Yeah,
But
I would
Necromancer's
love
not
to see
physical
Necromancer
DPS.
as
Yeah.
at the bare minimum as a limited class, like the Blue Mage. I mean, it would work. I feel like
Yeah.
it would work similarly to Blue Mage. I sorry, Jesus, I almost fucking died. I want like a fucking like fighter class so I can do fucking command inputs and grapple fucking bosses. That's what I fucking want.
You just want to suplex like Titan and Ifrit.
Hell yeah, bro. I would have suplexed Kefka.
Yeah.
Let me do it.
Hey man, Final Fantasy VI
Exactly.
suplex a whole fucking train.
Anyways, Hero, what do you got planned for the next couple of weeks?
Hey guys, PK comics are coming out again. I'm working on a couple of things for it right now. Reference to Musashi is still going. Don't know any more about Kingdom Hearts really because I tried to get a hold of Squish, but he's not. Doesn't seem like he's down for it. So we'll have probably our Resident Evil 4 talk through actually go up now, and we'll start continuing that on the weekend. We'll still watch. Me and Marcus will still watch Kamen Rider Force A. I'll still be watching Gundam Seed Destiny. I want to start getting into reading books. I just bought I'm not even barely in the service of Jurassic Park, and I want to read this book I got earlier this year. I guess even though we're like in fucking February. And overall, just just improve on myself and start exercising a little bit more. And yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing.
As someone who has read the Jurassic Park book, it's really fucking good. So I look forward to hearing your experience with it.
Yeah. I cannot wait. All right.
Yeah.
Is that it for everybody?
I wanted to add one last thing about the Final Fantasy XIV reveal trailer.
Go for
And
it.
it's the most important thing that everyone has missed. And it's that the Warrior of Light, his footprint canonically is the Square Enix logo.
I want to say one thing. Oh, okay, I know we're wrapping up. I'm gonna start my speculations right now. The new physical DPS class is gonna be mime.
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 Mime. Mime.
Mime.
Mime.
Mime.
Mime. Mime.
Or a sky pirate.
Like they have.
Corsair. Let's do it.
Oh wait, yeah.
Yeah, it's
never
called the
mind.
Machinist.
Or a Viking.
Yeah, basically. Like I was looking. I was looking. Are you just looking through the Final Fantasy jobs? Well, I've already beaten you to the punch, good sir. And,
Beastmaster.
the only notable ones that they're missing would probably either be Knight, but I feel like that's probably
Yeah, well,
a
we
little
already
too
got
close to
Gladiator.
Warrior. Beastmaster's a Beastmaster's probably the closest pick.
They-
Geomancer's the one that a lot
that's-
of people
that would be a range.
but Geomancers of
Range of
yeah,
magical
that would
DPS.
be. It's. I could see how they could retool it into a physical DPS, kind of like how they retooled Dancer from being a support-esque class to a ranged DPS class.
Well, range DPS class minus Machinist. Range DPS class to help like support the party still.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I could see a case being made for Geomancer being a physical one, but it's definitely a stretch.
Right?
Twist
They
Puppet
just bring
Master.
back Puppet Master from 11, and then everyone runs around screaming "lol pup." Oh, I miss those days.
Okay, I would legitimately, I would love for like a Valkyrie class. Granted, Valkyrie is from Bravely Default. I'm pretty sure it has some analog in there. Either like a Valkyrie or a pirate, even though I don't like, even though I don't like pirates. I'm not a fan of pirates, but I think like a pirate or like a Valkyrie, I would absolutely be down.
Nah, man, it's gonna be cute.
You know what?
Watch.
As much as I hate that idea, I would love that idea. Yeah.
Oh, okay, so let's just wait and see. All right. So that's it on the Chit Chat podcast, everybody.
No.
Anybody got some shameless plugs? No.
No,
No.
don't follow me.
Don't follow Kyle. Do not follow him. You can follow me, on Twitter, and you can also follow me on Webtoon as well, so you read more PK, as well as follow me on Twitch. I'm gonna try to start streaming. Like I said, really fucked up on the Final Fantasy thing. I was a little too late. I was like, should I? Shouldn't I? I was really flip flopping it. But yeah,
There was something that was announced that was going to be next week. I think it was like something Guilty Gear related or something that I thought also looked interested that we could stream. I'll see
What
if
if
I
it's
can
an
try and
Onion
find
Night?
it.
Onion Night.
Don't get me excited like that, Aldo. Don't.
What if it's a Sword Saint from Final Fantasy Tactics? What if I can finally be the best Cid in all of Final Fantasy? Thunder God Cid.
We'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.
What if you just get to be Noctis? Just royal arms.
Oh
Let's
my
go.
God.
In a
I
game
would
that
just take
doesn't suck.
I would just take an axe right to my
we're
desk
done.
and my whole setup.
Done.
Just done.